Argentina fight to be even more severe than it previously was, right? Like the fact that you're going to be so far away, so delayed here, Matrim, and I'm hoping that if this kind of thing happens again in some of these games, people just wise up and say, okay, this might just not be worth it at all.
I mean, Argentina is one of the few squads that has a lot that they can take away from it, because that early game was nuts from them, from where they had to kind of deal with what was going on with Finland on drop. Then I think that they also were the squad that shifted over to deal with like North Georgia Pole, where that was going to be the USA at, and then they had to retreat back. So a lot of things that they can take away and kind of look at to try to figure out going forward. But I think that you're right. There was so many little catalyst moments that led to squads to lead into, I don't want to say overcommitments, because it was just, what else can you really do? You know the fact that you're going to die. That's why we saw that Harry Potter just have a stack of cars just lined up against each other, and I think it was China and Indonesia that just had mutually assured destruction going for whatever they can find, because you know you're going to die if you drive into that circle. So instead, maybe try to get a foothold outside. Maybe you could take a fight with somebody else. 4 points, 1 point, 2 points. It's all better than just dying with nothing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Let's talk about Miramar here whilst we get ready to go here for all of these teams as well. One of the considerations and contesting that was going on was, oh, we even get a little sneaky playing path look in here as all these teams are looking at exactly how these teams are going to be dropping. Neutral making it through onto Power Grid, not too much of a surprise. There was a musing by Denmark that, of course, is in San Martin, that we could target them and open up even more room for ourselves, Gibson, on something like a Miramar, which would have been exciting to see. But for the most part, it doesn't look like there's too many conflicts on the drops here for Miramar.
Look, a lot of the teams are just going to go for what the majority of the roster are used to dropping when they go to PGSs. Yeah. So you'll see a lot of teams dropping in the same spots. Funny enough, on Wednesday, we actually saw Denmark drop on Power Grid, which forced neutral off of it. So keep an eye on maybe that happening this weekend. But look, most of these players, they play internationally, they play at PGSs. They're going to drop where the teams are most comfortable doing it. There was some hints of hot drops, but you and we've all been in the business so long. You see the map and think, oh, there's a hot drop here. How often do you actually see it happen whenever the game starts, though?
Yeah, well, especially when we cut down on the amount of games that happen. Sometimes, you know, like with PGSs, a lot of these players have been conditioned to, it's a 5-game series, guys. Good luck. Like, to be able to get through into grand finals, and even some of those grand finals have been best of 10s, never mind best of 15s, where we cut them down from best of 18s. So yes, things get even more and more severe as time goes on. Ooh, apples. Is that a spoiler? Is that going to be added to the game for edibles? I know you can throw them on Sandhawk, but I'd like them as maybe a healing item, Mark. That'd be nice.
It depends on what apple though. There'd be a big divide. I feel like green versus
Pink
red.
Lady.
Which when you go, okay, we go. We're even going down branding as well. I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, Pink Lady.
It'd be interesting ads. Back to, obviously we talk about the zones and obviously the drops. And the management, especially with a best of 15 for me. I think we look at some of these big names and the big IGLs because they can manage that. And we look at actually a team neutral that had a good start stage. I've already said that actually looked completely different than the survival stage. So then we look at this as a best of 15. Do we see some more crazy shifts? Or do the teams like that actually go, actually, do you know what? We do need a couple of points, as Matrim saying. Like, let's have 1-2 points here because we want to keep that point average up. Let's ensure we stay positive and don't go out with nothing against our name.
Well, they're circling around this as if they might be going into a game. So who knows? Who knows? But this looks like a transition that Korea will be like, you know what, the game's ready. Do you think so, Matrim, or am I clutching at straws?
Give us that side angle. Oh no, I was so expecting the side. Like, you know what I'm talking about? They keep showing us like the PNC streamer going across that. We've been talking a lot about what's going on in the game. I want to jump back in a different section of the conversation, talk Apple again for one moment. How do you know, Brand, like, the make of apples off the start? Because like I can't follow that. You were like immediately like it's this. I don't know. I just see
the shape, the
green
size.
and red.
There's loads of breakdowns. Jeez.
Yeah, there's Granny Smith.
Green, red.
Yeah.
What?
Gala. I'd love a Pink Lady to be in the game for sure. Anyway, let's get things going to it. Thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be game number 2. It's going to be Miramar. It's going to be Gibson and Mark bringing you all of the action.
Thanks, and it is time to jump into Miramar for the first time this weekend. Ukraine kicking things off in game number 1 with a victory, kind of picking things up where they left off, Mark, over the course of the survival stage. But this time on Miramar, you think it'll calm down just a little bit based on what we'd seen on Erangel before.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think the momentum's now been set. The zones
Oh,
are going
you
to be
think we're going to
crazy.
just all in?
All in. It's the finals. It's PNC. It's game number 2. It's a west down towards a southeast. Does favour, I say, some of the hot drops, we say, or the normal drops to those teams you alluded before. A couple have to go for that extension. We see sort of Finland go out early. They go towards that northwest.
Yeah, remember now, of course, the last map we did that crazy ending on the cliffs. Once upon a time, I was watching a PUBG broadcast, and one of the casters said, "It's Miramar. Water never impacts games on Miramar," and we finished down in the bottom right of the map, and I think the circle was nearly all water. So I ain't going to go and say that. Strange things have happened, but one thing is for sure, we are going to see a lot of action here on Miramar today.
Yeah, we are. Let's go back to that point now about Ukraine and the momentum. This team obviously is looking pretty strong, so they will favour this style of map. It's actually Taker they struggled with when it came to survival stage, so let's see what they can do here. They do go for their normal drop spot, and obviously the temptation of a South Korea drop into the same area, not quite there, but it have moved a bit to the north.
Yeah, circle does go down to that southern side as well, southeastern, Los Leones circle. Interesting to point out, USA so far, Mark, have gone, despite it being majority Falcons with Gunner and then obviously with Gunner and Kick and Shrimsy, they're going for the liquid drops. So they've gone for the Los Leones this time around. I think they've got to take advantage of this, right? Los Leones takes up about 10-15% of the circle. Loot and either get to the edge of Los Leones or play the hills above it. Don't get caught up in that city for too long.
No, they've got to be disciplined. They have to be disciplined. There's the temptation of loot in there that you just continue. One more building, one more look. I need one more thing to grab. And once we go back and look at Ukraine, there's the divide and conquer. They will split out with their line drawing, keep containing everybody else. And obviously the early reaction from them, get to look back at game number 1.
Yeah, obviously there was some great moments. I think Brazil were very unlucky here, Mark. They did a great job at fighting off multiple teams, but then you had Philippines inside the blue in phase 5, shooting them from one angle. You had nades coming in from Ukraine on the other. Like, this was a death sentence for Brazil. There was no way they were going to get out of this alive. And even in a circle like that at the time, Ukraine had so much free space to the south that they had no fears about being backfilled in this fight either.
For me, I felt like they were happy to live next to each other for a while. And for Ukraine, it was a different decision. When that fighting kicked off in that southeast, they knew that Brazil would have an eye line to that, and they will be tempted in to try and get a third party, look to try and get a couple of points on the board. And Ukraine took the opportunity to kind of apply pressure. And it felt like Brazil, unexpected, especially that level of pressure came in pretty fast. You mentioned as well, Boostic with his grenades. That nade damage was insane. Actually, he really did open up the opportunity for these guys to work their way to a victory.
They got lucky too, didn't they? Because on that rotate back to the cliff, the UAS went off the side, and they were very lucky to be able to climb back up that hillside and get the win at the very end. But look, this is the highlight of the win. I think the big thing is, had Thailand not been involved, I thought that Gustav had made an incredible move to get up to that crate, but once Thailand got the knock on the other side, it kind of just sprung death for the Danes.
Really difficult as well for them to apply this. This is a W key down and send and spread out. He can't get all of us. I think with the expertise of Price, Ferris though does close things out. So good game. That's game number 1. They're on the move already, Team Ukraine, as they've come out their rotation already, moving away in and around that sort of northeast area of Los Leones. Good to see Philippines also move down, and Great Britain doing the same. United States, as you mentioned, Gibson, they are taken to the high ground, so they haven't been caught, but they are in a little bit of a 2-2 split, and now they're neighbouring the Philippines.
Yeah, and you've got China coming this way. Ukraine, I think, have taken the hills just north of Los Leones, which is a great spot to play. But Iya, who's somebody that I think James highlighted earlier today as a player he was really excited to see in the server, he's locked down Shrimsy. He knows exactly where the American is, and I don't think Shrimsy has any clue. So we could potentially see the first point of this map going to the Philippines.
And the Philippines, they were out in that southeast corner by the coastal side. They've actually made a call to collapse now, and they are flying away towards Shrimsy. Same as UK, as United Kingdom will be coming in from the south side. But yeah, from Shrimsy's stance, he doesn't quite know that he actually has people neighbouring his compound.
Yeah, Korea
By the coastal side.
As well, obviously the heavy fan favorites here today. You heard I think all of us in the broadcast heard, anytime Vietnam got close to Korea, you could hear the crowd starting to cheer. So keep an eye on what they're going to do. And let's have a look at Xiong Yang. Like, look at those stats. Phase 1, second, MVP, not bad from him.
Yeah, Yeah, consistent player as well. You remember this team has had a 50% change out as well, so really interested to see what they can bring. I thought they were caught out a little bit from the zone in the last one, but they applied great pressure towards Team UK, but it was always going to be Team Thailand leaving the safety of their compound, waiting for that fight between South Korea and for United Kingdom to fight before they could sweep in and claim the remaining points. But a good start actually for game one.
Yeah, Korea as well. They're just on the edge of Los Leones over on the northeastern side. They're just going to scout around those fields, and yeah, just like we expected, it looks like Shrimps is going to get taken out. The rest of the Philippines closing this position. I see Michael just peeking up as well, as Alex seems to be looking for Shrimsy inside, but he's on the other side of that ridge. And the curious thing for me, Kurt had nothing to do with it, right? You look at the map, he has bailed, he's gone to join the rest of the team. They ain't going back for Shrimsy.
No, that's actually a call coming from the squad. Unable to get there. That's our first kill on the board, though. Philippines will take out Team USA. UK is there. They're on a split, though. They are looking on, but the building, providing the cover, give Alex some safety while he figures out how to get out the bike.
I think he's trying to block the door a little bit, but I'm not quite sure. It's maybe like watching my gameplay sometimes as Scav. It was one South American team last time that caused them problems. This time, they're going directly towards Brazil. Tony will unleash the first volley of shots. Does a ton of damage on the Scav, but he managed to get inside of Sparking, misses the shots.
Yeah, he didn't expect that complete run across. He sort of dubbed him and went back towards the right. Shots were going at the top. Correct, he's getting a pedicure, but he lays low just in time. Grenades will come through. They're trying to isolate. Now they get, unfortunately for Tony, gets IX'd down. And for Finland's aggressive stance, it gets turned around.
Yeah, Tony drops a really good nade on the other side as well, as Corexi takes a ton of damage. It forces him into shots on the other side, and Corexi is just going to try to get on the move. Good shots from Scav, though, will force him back, but Corexi is caught out by Tony.
He's been caught out. He does get knocked out. Tony does find the opportunity, but for Finland, they are, again, back to themselves, back close. But for Team Brazil, they've got a complete grip on this fight. Either side. Scav, though, gets shot in the back, and it's Tony once more.
Yeah, this kid dominated last year in the PUBG Players Tour when he was playing on Team Mira, and he's kicked things off this year pretty well his game.
Oh!
Sata will take down Sparking, and another Brazil player falls. This time it's BL, as he tried to join in the fight, and suddenly it's become a 2 versus 2. Sata will sit behind the metal barricades, but this fight could go either way, Mark.
Yeah, Sato gets the opportunity now. He does get the med back on, can hear the footsteps on the other side. Manu goes out, tries to go for the defenses, has the higher cover though. Stops for Tony, but Tony jumps and scores, and he gets a wipe though.
4 kills.
And Tony backs up a 4-pack, a complete team wipe.
Yeah, Gibson, you don't know what you're talking about. You were questioning why Santastica wasn't picked up on. Well, Tony, what an answer that is. The big thing for me now, though, Mark, is they are a country mile away from the circle, but that'll give them time to pick up the blue chips, get everybody back in, and his big points on the board is Levante now, is Turkey nearby.
Levante didn't flex on the introduction, might be able to flex now though, as he hears the bike going away. Here's the car, moves towards the adjacent side though. Has he been spotted? Well, it can be heard. The shots come out, but doesn't get the connection that he wants.
Yeah, Levante, and at times this year, he's been the one player that's kind of got any joy for Vitality, and for Neutral as well, he's been the player that's carried a bunch of the burden. As we go to Puerto Parezo, Mark, with that circle shift, and suddenly Brazil have even further to go. But what about, like, if you're Team UK, you've got to secure a good spot now, because you've got the advantage over the rest of this lobby.
They got prime pick now, and I think they're going down towards that south tech, that compound on the south side of the road. I'll be worried about if they go for a split, but for them, they do have the opportunity. The rest of these teams, yet again, game after game, they have to rotate in, and we are going to see a wave of these teams, the colours working their way in towards the north side of the map.
Yeah, and I think Germany are in a good spot, right? They can rotate it to the extreme south. Like, they know that the UK drop in resorts, so they're not going to be too far away. I think Thailand, realizing that's going to be the low traffic area as well, are also trying to make their way down with that 2-2 split. But up towards the north, Denmark and Argentina, both having similar thoughts as drive-by action. Mixon's going to take down Pipa.
Ability there. Mixon does get him. Shots do come in from Gustav as well. They pick up the quick kill. Will fall. Argentina have the compound now. I think that's where Denmark were looking to go, so they have to keep rotating around. Talk about rotation. Ukraine looking for some higher ground. Philippines were here first, though, and they are split. Ukraine, they stack up as a 4. Dangerous. As they park the cars, they look for the climb.
Yeah, and the Philippines have a curious split. It looks like a 2-2, but the players are kind of, in theory, a bit more separated than that. So you've given Ukraine the high ground now on this hill just on the eastern side of Los Leones, and that's going to be a problem, I think, for the Philippines later if they look to consolidate their spot, because Ukraine are going to have great lines of sight onto it. But for now, I think all these teams are relatively happy with the positions that they've found.
Yeah, Denmark's still applying pressure. They're going to work their way now in towards the Team UK. They have gone for a split. Gustav, though, pulls up. Vardo on the other side. He jumps up, and Vard will put Gustav down, but he's by himself here. Gibson takes a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, drops back into cover, and the fact that he's so far away from the rest of the team as well means he is going to fall back. If anything, what that knock has done has bought him time for his retreat. He pops the first aid for now. But looking at the map, he can actually play this position for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and Delwyn towards that east, actually setting up the mortar fire here. South Korea will put in just on the top of Vietnam. They are split slightly, but they are the only team really in the southeast corner. Mortar fire will launch, but doesn't quite get the connection. And we see the recall coming back in the distance.
Yeah, that'll be Brazil rejoining the fight as Himas, your MVP of PNC 2025. Well, he's going to get a knock onto Heather and clicks on empty, but you'd imagine, no, we can't get that one finished off. You men will get him picked up, and listen to the crowd. They appreciate that every bit as much as the knock.
Hero Rez Gumin, though, he knew the objective, and that was to get his boy back up. DraftKings, though, trying to take advantage. Couple of shots will exchange. Looks to try and get the tire as we now wait for the zone. 6-5. Hopefully, these teams will be waiting for a shift back towards that northwest corner, but I think it's going east, and it's east we go. We go to the port.
And Korea just blessed with that circle as well, having just stacked up in the 2 stacks. Now they find themselves in a position where they can play for the late game unless somebody decides to crash. But yeah, this is their home. This is where they're going to play as we watch Pipa. I'm surprised, Mark, that Argentina actually got that blue chip back.
Yeah, same. But again, it's the same with Team USA. I think they're really looking to come down that road, but the Philippines not moved just yet, so they have to move their way around. Brazil doing the same. They get their lobbies back, and actually allows them to leapfrog ahead of a lot of the other teams because the rest of them are still working their way in from the blue.
Yeah, Belmoth, he's going to try to maybe get some shots off onto Germany, but not able to find any of note as you get a little bump from behind. There's Germany, help themselves into the circles. Ia might be about to drop another knock onto another big team as Neutral pushing in, but I think they know. I think Neutral know. They're prepping the nades, they're tossing it in. Ia could be in trouble here.
Yeah, but don't know exactly where he is. I think he does. He steps up, though.
Oh, no.
Doesn't quite get the connection. The Panzer comes through. Levante is there. But Jordan goes for the exchange. Odoo's on the other side. Gets Cowboy as they look to try and claim the higher ground. So Neutral fighting on multiple fronts.
Yeah, Cowboy riding in that steel horse, but it didn't quite work the way for him as he ends up falling, getting taken down by a doozy. As really, where was this version of Neutral all the way through survival stage as USA now are down to just the 2 players standing? They didn't get Shrimsy back. They've lost Cowboy. This is going to be tough for them to get points as we jump over to this fight between Thailand and Germany.
Yeah, Germany got this sort of trench they can work from. They can hear the BRDM. Aries, though, picks up the Panzer. Doesn't need to quite use it at the moment. It's going to be a hard push for Thailand. They know they've got to commit if they come over towards the top. Back to your point, though, with the Philippines, I'm still surprised they're so split after the initial engagement with USA. They remained split across this sort of north side of the map, and they still stay there.
Well, look at Alec. Alec's all by himself, Mark. He's on the northern side, outside the circle. I just don't see how he can safely get back with Neutral, Ukraine, and everybody looking there.
It's not a bad way. If they know there's a team in that dip, they don't need to apply pressure and sort of flex that BRDM out. They're going to launch the mortar fire ahead. Neutral pull up, though. China, well, not China. Spaceman does get effects. Sakatori gets Lu, though, as he plays peekaboo around the outside. Molly will go free. Post box it into the window. And oh my God, that guy, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's incredible from Hakatori. Ukraine take a big bit of damage from that nade on the other side, but Fairest, he will get another kill confirmed on the board as Levante has also been knocked here. Ukraine holding the line, and this is just 3 of them.
Yeah, I think it was stolen very, very end there. It was, yeah. Ukraine. They are holding. They're holding the outside. They wanted that northwest shift. They wanted him going back towards that high ground, but it wasn't going to be the case. Alec, though, could cause some problems as he is out in the blue. As USA, you can see them sneak in. Great Britain, though, had made a push down. The zone shifts yet again. One more east rotation we go. And Vietnam now on the front line.
Yeah, but look where Brazil have got themselves as well, Mark. After that early fight way up to the north, they've found themselves in Puerto Paraiso with tons of space as the BZ barrage just comes in. China being forced back by Team UK. Zhao Wu takes a lot of damage here. Pains on the other side will take down Queen from Indonesia. Jekski is down as well. And Germany putting in a ton of work as Setsuna swings across and Germany are eliminated.
They go down. That was a real brawl, though. Street battle out by the petrol station. For the United Kingdom, they've lost Vex. They are trying to apply pressure. Great double blue zone, but China unable to get unhinged from that position. They have backed away slightly. They are still have to hold as the smoke wall now comes out. T-Bone leading the charge. Yahoo just in front.
Yeah, I remember Team UK, former PNC champions. Here's the knee. It does a ton of damage, and T-Bone wipes them out. Team UK now picking up a bunch more points as China are going to fall. And UK, now they need to focus on getting in the zone.
They do. Ukraine losing some bodies. Purdy Curdy causing issue. Team USA now down to a solo player, but Purdy with a point at the board puts them onto 2. Looking to try and deny anything that they can. More points. But he's cooking meds here. He's got a few more to go. But Gibson is phase 4.
Yeah, Kurtz, this is his spot. This is his grave. This is where he is eventually going to go down, as we see Algin bots looking to make a move in with Alec, as 2 of them decided to ride on the bike, which is not the safest thing to do in the world. But Mark, this isn't even the circle. This is just them trying to get close to maybe get in the circle where Turkey are waiting.
Yeah, Turkey are in a great position. They would have had that bike rolling down. Komarko now sees their head right there. I think he's just trying to judge up. There's one obviously in, out towards his north side. Komarko in a key position. And yeah, shots are coming back. So he's got the full read on the team. Now for Turkey to try and hold.
Yeah, Algin bots looking to get an angle on the other side, but Philippines are in a lot of trouble here as CJ eventually works his way back around to join the team. And Vard, he gets an off angle. He's still being a problem for Denmark, as it feels like the UK and the Danes have been going at it for at least 7-8 minutes.
It's the only way that sort of for Team Great Britain for them to sort of work their way in, and that was going to be on that side there. Unfortunately for Denmark, he got caught out by himself. Purdy does go down, so USA will fall. 13th place for them, a couple of points. Hold him in 9th at the moment.
Another player, CJ, goes down at the hands of Emmy from long range from Argentina, who are just on the northern side of the circle. The nade, though, not quite close enough to do any real damage of note. But phase 4 blue comes in, and well, I think for Philippines, this could be it. Alec just peeking up as well, but Turkey, they want these points, Mark.
Yeah, Turkey, we know they're an aggressive team, right? So they want to charge forward, get the points. Jammer pack now goes down. The grenades come over to the top. Damage a little bit done. Blue zone's going to be causing. CJ looking to crawl his way forward, though, because the blue has pushed past. Go towards the northeast corner of Brazil with the early deaths. The victory for them is going to be now in the zone, and they have to tie it up pretty quick.
Yeah, and you can see that Sparking and BL are just heading back now to hold center circles. Hakatori goes mad onto Team UK. Michael Vard both dealt with, leaving a T-Bone still up and left to the side as we eventually do lose Philippines. 11 teams left alive inside of phase 5, and T-Bone, as he got a little hole, a little something to play as the blue zone starts to creep in as well.
Yeah, look at Denmark's read. He knows that they're down to a solo player, so they're applying pressure on that north side of him. So hopefully he has dug in. Neutral, though, is working their way around also into that fight. Spatuldin, though, coming in from the blue. Back to Vietnam, though. Turkey going down towards the blue. Tanvu looking to try and pick up any points he can, any steals he can take away from the PUBG gods.
Yeah, Turkey, though, you wonder what their play is going to be. I think they're going to try follow that dirt path and get into the circle between Vietnam and Korea. Thailand sending it inside of Puerto Parezo, as well as Delwyn tries to hold them out. Vietnam holding that western side of the circle. And here's Ukraine going directly into the smoke where Setson is standing, and he might just take everybody with him.
Yep, he's got a grenade. He's pulled the pin. He launches it out. Now the grenades will come back. Actually, a short distance, though, will come through. Akatori will fall down. T-Bone looking to try and make the move on this as well. Ferris, though, is out in the blue. T-Bone is juggling. But for Ukraine, they're down to a solo. It's a 1 versus 1 outside the zone.
Yeah, and you can see the damage that they're taking inside that blue as well. Phase 5 really starting to hurt, and that nade's going to cause a world of trouble, and down goes Fairest. Ukraine ain't going to get the win this time. Somebody else might take away top spot, and maybe it could be Denmark who are pushing up to Vietnam.
Batulin's got the better of T-Bone as well. He's still out in the blue, and he gets another knock, opening and point confirmed. And for Team Denmark, they pull up and they step out. Hivas, though, with that P90 shook apart.
Yeah, Turkey eliminated here now as they fall in 8th place. Back-to-back 8ths for them as they now fall as well. Vietnam up to 4 kills as we have 22 players still alive. And Mark, Brazil are just chilling center of the circle, waiting for the map to come to them.
I love they got this kind of 3-1 split on the go, though. They didn't collapse all. I suppose they want to keep one on the outside, try and catch. these teams, especially from Thailand, if they come underneath the compound from the road. But they are praying that it's going to go their way. Delwyn, though, goes down towards the blue zone. Batalion is looking for another kill if he can get it. He has to juggle a med, and he does. It's number 2 for him. Puts team neutral up to 4.
Yeah, a couple more points on the board for them, but maybe if he can outlive someone else, they might just find a few more. But Vietnam getting really close to Korea now, as these two teams really want to put each other to the sort of member. Korea thought that they were going to win last year, but Vietnam had completely different opinions as we get ready for that next circle shift.
Batalion is though really management. These meds is insane. It's going to go try and pick up some more. Zone shift though back towards that kind of Brazil South Korea split now, so it'll be good for them. Be interested to see how they hold that individual player. Thailand looking to come underneath sort of Team Brazil. Tanvu, I can only look on.
Look at the move from Argentina. Look at Capitan. He's taking the high ground above the fight. I love this from Capitan.
Yeah, this is a good play from him. The call will be for the rest of the guys. They actually hold him back. They've got some long distance shots coming through him as though P90 launches out the molly, but it's going to cause damage, and it comes in from Argentina yet again.
Oh
Capitan! Capitan! Wow! Jimenez gets put down.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and now that's going to force Vietnam to go for the reset. That's a signal for Korea to get more aggressive as well. This is fantastic decision making from Argentina. Send Capitan out, do damage, and Vietnam are going back inside for this res.
Yeah, but the guys will know. Surely South Korea know that's been punishing the team neighboring. Batalions, though, store looting, doing what Batalion does best, and that's point to management. But until he gets spotted, he's going to fall. It's 7th place in distributing the board, and not a bad salvation game for neutral.
Yeah, now Korea just have all their utility ready for Vietnam. Yes, they're back up to a 3, but now the rest of Argentina have come, leaving Pipa as the solo this time, locking down the northern section of the circle. I love this aggression from Argentina. I didn't put them on a fantasy this time, Mark. I think they were just 10k too expensive, which is why I went for Germany, I think, instead. But I've got big expectations of Argentina.
Yeah, same. I think their position, their aggressive stance for this game number 2 is good. Indonesia trying to cause some damage, trying to G up the rest of their lobby to get rid of that BRDM. For Team Thailand, they are moving back, and this is kind of the point of interest for me. Brazil should get a read in this, and they've got a player south side of the road as well, so they could be a massive disruptor for Team Thailand.
Yeah, but on the other side of things, I think Trick is under pressure from Vietnam, so keep an eye on what's happening over there. Yeah, the blue zone's tossed, the molly's there. Scappy picks up that kill for Thailand, who also have a BRDM, which will help them if they need to crash Brazil a little while later. But look at Vietnam, they've got the low ground, they've wrapped around, and only for Brazil, Hemas could have pulled off a huge play.
So Kraken, though, really stopped that in his tracks. Grenade will come out. Here comes the second and third. We'll go over the top. And oh my God, Heather finds Tandu. And it's straight to Kraken. He's causing major problems. Brazil trying to get the claim, but unable to get that finish.
Yeah, big from Brazil, helping out Korea big time there. And Tanvu is down, leaving Hemas, the MVP of 2025, the last player standing. Argentina have sent it down now as well, as they're starting to put pressure on. Emmy will send off some shots, and you've left Heaven. Heaven's defending the north all by himself, while the rest of the team don't want to let Vietnam get the reses, and Vietnam might be about to get everyone back on their feet.
It's going to be close, though. It's going to be really close. Remember, they've been down before. They've stacked up. One good grenade, one good molly, though. That looked pretty close, but it's gone just on the other side of the ridge. For Vietnam, they're escaping. Are they escaping the clutches? It's a Panzer. Does he pull the trigger? He doesn't. He disengages and goes back the other way.
Vietnam, 9 lives for this roster as they're back up to a 3 once more. Korea still not done with him yet. Another molly thrown. That one's better. Heather finally hits the Panzer, and it's back down to Hemas once more. P90 at the ready. But they just don't know where he's standing. Hemas, he gets one. He's going to get a kill confirmed, and he's still kicking with a P90.
He is kicking strongly. He's got the ammo to continue. He goes, you say 9 lives. I say 10. He's going to potentially go for it. It comes through, and it comes through the top. Heather looks for the P90, and for South Korea, they get away just about.
Look at Thailand, by the way. Kiss has just annihilated Tony with the links, as Brazil will fall to 3. To 4v3v3v2. It's basically just Asia against the Americas at this point. To South America look to win. Remember, Mark, 9 chicken dinners in PNC history between the Brazilians and the Argentinians, as the kiss of death has been given by BL.
BL looking for that in the second. Goes down to individuals. Scappy has to lay low. The grenade, not just 1, but 2. It bounces, but they bounce downhill. The second one looks pretty good, but it's going to be short.
Only 19 damage found by BL. Another nade tossed up though. This one, will it
That's
hit
good.
Pater? This one, no, it takes the same bounce as the previous one. So Thailand will get back up to a 2, but the Argentinians and Brazilians and Koreans with the numbers over the Thai players, can they get it over the line? Who is going to get the win?
Surprisingly, take an extra couple of steps, roll the dice, throw that last grenade, but doesn't know how close he was. For Thailand, they are down to 2. It's a dangerous 2. Teammates at heart and champions of the PGS. Can they get a conversion here?
The big thing for me is that Lynx, right? That Lynx can be a real difference maker for Thailand if you can get an opening kill onto one of these players. Korea, the terrain's really rough for them as things stand because they got to go down into the bowl, and we know Brazil have angles onto that Korea rotate. So the question is, how do they play it? Is the push to Argentina the best one for them?
He's got 5. Yumin though, I think he's looking at the first one as a bit of a guideline. The other guys have moved up a bit higher. It's going to work its way down. I don't know if it's going to hit. It is a short, but he's expecting people to just come away from that. It's not been the case, but he has zeroed it in.
Brazil, though, they've got so much terrain. They have so much terrain, Mark, and I think that this could be a problem for Pipa now, as Yumin will send that mortar up to this guy. Pipa gets inside, though.
He knows. He knows that second one is going to be coming in pretty close, and that could have been destructive for him. Kiss running out of terrain. The Lynx has an impact, but the Lynx has to fire for the Kraken, though. He's giving everything he can to put Kiss down.
Oh, he can't hit the backpack. It's what he sees as Guman will put another mortar strike up into the sky towards Pipa, who will need to start moving very, very soon, Mark. Phase 8, Argentina, the high ground, Brazil, the low ground, and then down towards the southwest, we have Korea, who've got the longest distance to go.
Take the advantage. He's got someone to play now. Pipa can leave, and he's got a little trench provided by South Korea. Everyone outside your safe zone, everyone needs to move in, but all with different styles of game plan. Argentina have the high ground if they can stop South Korea wrapping their way. The low ground held by Brazil, but they are fully exposed when they leave the compound, so it's going to come down to timing. And for Thailand, well, they're digging the trenches, they're digging in for a late game.
Just digging, just keep digging. Get yourself something to play inside the circle. Kraken looking up once more, but Sparking's going to be the first one to find the knock. But straight on cue, Thailand's going to trade one back as Kraken will fall. 5 shots with the Lynx, but Kiss misses too. Scappy will fall on the other side from Capitan as everybody's going at it.
Yeah, it's a round robin we go. Kisto, he's going out with a bang. It's the blue that will claim Thailand. They fall in 4th. Now we activate. Now the move goes to Brazil. Caught to charge on forward. And for Capitan, he's also going to fall. So Kraken will fall down as well.
3v2, v3 now. Korea still with 3 players up, but they're going to start making their send as Capitan spots out one, but he can't find the knock with the 4x spray on the AUG. Maybe the blue zones though, Mark. Maybe these could be a lot better than him. From that could cause so many problems from Argentina. The blue zone forcing them back, but the center point not really controlled by anybody other than Brazil here, Mark, because Argentina have got the worst bit of terrain.
Yeah, you gotta remember how they got in. And they've got the potential to use the utility that Panzer is in weight. One good shot comes through, but it whistles over the head. Well, he makes the move around, uses the smoke, but he's got a scar in hand. But he has now the position to take the victory if he can stop this push.
Oh, Capitan, he gets the cross, and Capitan's going to deal some damage over to Sparking. BL on the other side of the smoke. He steps over, he finds one. It's a 2 versus 2 now, but Argentina have secured center circle. BL will get that knock, as we said, but there's no real utility left for Brazil, Mark. All that Argentina have as well, actually, is the cover. They've just got the... He finds one. It's a 2 versus 2 now, but Argentina have secured center circle. BL will get that knock, as we said, but there's no real utility left for Brazil, Mark. All that Argentina have as well, actually, is the cover. They've just got the deployable cover.
Yeah, but the global cover is good. They're bottled up. They're going to stack the guns. They stack both guns one way. DraftKings finds one. Quick confirmation done. Sparking gets through. And Sparking wins the game. Oh, my God. What a play, Gibson. Team Brazil clutched in the moments that they looked to fall.
It is Vai Brazil, and it is the Ray, the King Sparking, that's why it's in his name, who speaks across, gets the duel, and Brazil snatched that victory away. James, a Latam brawl at the end, and Brazil just edging out Argentina in the all-time chicken dinners at PNC.
Yeah, good to see Sparking back on the international stage, making it known why he is one of the best. Brilliant stuff from them. And of course, they were in the grand final straight away. No survival stage for them. Look how happy they are with that victory, Matrim.
Oh, dude, I love every aspect of what we see going on in that. This was so cleanly played from the duo into the three. They made sure to keep eyes onto the center point, used a little bit of a train, counter-smoked around everything. The Panzerfaust was a little bit too much. Like, I believe it was Claris you were talking about, the fact that it felt a bit greedy trying to go for it all. But I mean, that's Brazil's play style. It's all or nothing, baby.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sparking being able to make it work towards the very end. Really nice stuff. Unfortunate for Argentina being caught in a position where they're all on one angle. But it wasn't just Brazil at the end of the game. It was Brazil at the start of the game as well. Tony with the 4-piece mark. We said he's on the up and up.
Yeah, look, talk about putting your name on the map, right? Beginning of the game number 2, and you just put a whole team down. As Gibson said, he questions the roster count. He questioned whether they picked the right 4. And Tony said, no, Gibson, I'm here to stay. Annihilate Team Finland.
Definitely. There's watched a few more moments as well. Indonesia taking down Germany. Germany had a really rough time of it to start things off in these first 2 games here, Gibson.
Yeah, it's not gone great for them. I actually put them in a fantasy because I thought, you know, they might get some of that magic from a few years back with Kohl back coaching, but not going well for Germany. And the Finns, well, maybe the Finns should just start avoiding South American teams because it's not really gone very well for them in the first 2 maps, has it, Matt?
I don't know what Finland's got against South America, but it's not necessarily working out the best, as all the way into later stages, it is going to be Argentina and Brazil. Thailand, though, also starting to come alive, finding pretty decent kill counts, good scoring moving into the entirety of this. Also, Korea finding a lot of successes making it in later stages. So consistency starting to come out from a lot of our squads that we were expecting it to, but I did not expect it to come down to 2 South American teams here at the end, Clark.
Yeah, I did say whilst we were watching that match, Trim, you know, well, if it's 2 South American teams in this final circle, South America can't throw. So that's a great situation. Wow. You can't have Brazil driving into the blue. You can't have Furia denying themselves at the very end. No, you don't want me to do that, Mark?
Too soon.
They're never going to live that down. They're never going to live that down.
No, we're not. There's too soon still, mate. But look, let's go back to the key decision making at the end, right? They're against the numbers, and the split decision, the speed that Sparking made the call to run the other way around the smoke on the blue is huge. And I don't think Argentina were ready for it. He just popped out, he got one. Before they could react, it was match 7 point.
No, definitely. Very good stuff there from them, and for Argentina again. All 3 on one angle, bit tough to say the least. A tough circle and a tough game in general for everybody else though, Gibson, right? Coming down to Puerto Paraiso, admittedly Brazil was there pretty early to be able to secure that spot, so good that they were able to convert, but for a lot of teams coming towards the very end of that, not easy to get into Puerto Paraiso proper.
It really wasn't, and a lot of teams were trying to come in from the southwestern side as well, which is where all the traffic is. Like, you got to give Brazil credit again. With the flight path, they went north, got the res back, and went all the way down the eastern coast into Puerto Paraiso. They got rewarded. I thought Thailand was going to cause them some trouble at the end with the BRDM, with the links, but Brazil just held strong.
Yeah, very nice to see, especially, Mark, considering as much as Brazil, yes, was one of our 8 teams coming into grand final directly, I think a lot of people also looked elsewhere for those big names to be able to be at number 1, number 2, etc., things like that. But it's 20 points going their way here, Mark. It's a great game for Brazil.
It is a great game. And look, I think I mentioned it before, they were the random pick for me. You look at that team from a fantasy and go, oh, they're good for a good couple of games, aren't they? They're good for a couple of wins, or maybe 1 or 2. Are they going to win it? I think this performance, the decision making, they had a fight at the very beginning. They took that on. They obviously found themselves in. I think the recall chips really gave them the opening into the late game, but they maximized 10 kills, 10 points for the win. It's a nice 20 points.
Yeah, Argentina with 10. Vietnam showing on up here with 10. They're always good for it. They're good for the kills here, Matrim, and I'm expecting a lot more than just the 10 points from them in the next couple of games.
Oh yeah, I mean it's mostly off of kills, and that's going to be how they're going to be aiming for it. No big surprise off an early game. The last game didn't go the best for them, so if anything, it's just going to make him more mad and want to kill more people, and it's going to be bad for the lobby as it goes forward. But now Brazil in first place over Ukraine after a little bit of an early out from Ukraine. This is already getting pretty spicy. It was feeling like Ukraine was coming in with some dominance, but boys from Brazil said, nah, we still got something in the tank.
Gosh, imagine if they can keep on with it as well. That'd be exciting.
Ooh, yeah.
We have not seen technically a Western, in inverted commas, winner since the very early days of PNC. Everything else, it's very much gone Asia's way as a whole. And I mean, you know, can you... the 2019 result, is it really even the West as a whole? Who knows? But well, let's take a look at the numbers that have come on in here. Sparking will take himself 5 kills. Capitan as well, 755 damage. South America's here, Mark. Showing up for the Americas.
Yeah, it's an all-rounder, right? And obviously they found themselves, and Gibson said on the cast about how aggressive. We saw Team Argentina obviously play that north side. They didn't have to. They could have stayed where they were. And obviously it does clash. Big shot for them. Massive damage dealt.
I like that Sparking has like orientated himself to tell everybody below him to shush. So you can put him above any leaderboard you want, as long as he is up at the top. He's looking good for it. Looking good for it indeed. Here's the numbers coming in from Brazil as a whole as well. Tony with the 464 damage. BL as well. And I think BL, Gibson, we've watched him throughout a lot of tournaments, even international performances, especially like the EWC performances that we've been able to see him put up as well. Really, really excited to always watch him play.
BL's been a player that I've had my eye on for a few years. Like when I started casting in the Americas, I was doing the scrims, and he was playing for kind of bottom half of the table South American teams back when the Americas were split, but he always stood out to me as somebody who could really kick things off. He then went to Rock, and we kind of saw the real jump up from BL last year. I still think this kid's got a lot to show.
Yep, looking good alongside Zagrakan as well. Mark?
Yeah, no, I've got nothing really to add from that. We don't know where the man of the match is going from that one. But yeah, you know, BL's obviously worked his way through this circuit, should we say, and I think when we've seen sort of this South American formation, these star players has really leveled up the rest of that region, and we're now starting to see other names coming through, so it'll be really interesting to see, I suppose, where these sort of South American teams end up.
Yeah. And for people like Sparking, right? Like if he's got aspirations of going towards PGC, it's going to rely on like a performance in PAS match room. Like obviously with the PGSs coming up, I don't think they actually did qualify for those things, so it's a toughie.
Look, we're not going to talk about the fact that how hard it is for Sparking to find a home to be consistent on, because it's something that annoys the living hell out of me. This is such a great player that we can see a superstardom capability come out for, but it always feels like, for whatever reason, whenever he's on a roster, it just can't find a way to mesh into it properly. I don't know if it's just the fact that he wants to play it more aggressive or what's going on, but whenever you pair him up with somebody like BL is a great damage engine. He's very, very consistent, and that can really unlock players like Sparking that want to play in that more aggressive stance, that want to do the opposite of what the expectations always are and make a big play.
Yeah, I want to just add on Sparking too, as well as being as like the big deal, the big star in Brazil, he actually really cares about the region. So I've had a chance to talk to like him and some players. He actually bought graphics cards and computers for some of the other younger Brazilian players so they could grow. Like look at Kawazin, like he came into the scene last year. I believe that Sparking actually bought him a graphics card so he could compete inside PUBG. So he's just a good guy all around.
That's awesome to hear. Just to get your region growing and being able to move on even further. Because hey, you know what? Sometimes you've got to have the very, very best if you want to perform at the best. That's for sure. You want to work with the very best tools. So we're just moments away actually from the halftime show. I'm getting notified here for PUBG Nations Cup. So 2 games down, 3 more to go here for day number 1. Did you expect Brazil to be at number 1, Mark?
No, I definitely think they were going to get a win from a day. Would it have been this early? No. I think, again, it comes back to that point that actually they maximised that sort of crash against Finland really early. And because they lost 2 players, the emoji pickup played them into the town. And from there, that gave them a bit of a home for the rest of the team to kind of move in. If it wasn't for that, would Brazil get the win? No, I think they would have got caught up with a lot of the chaos that happened in that northwest corner. But hey, when the dice rolls and it rolls your way, maximise the points you can get.
All right, let's check in with the halftime show here at the PUBG Nations Cup for 2026. Let's listen in.
여기서 이렇게 보시면 서 있는 게 보이잖아요. 그분들 바로바로 이동시켜가고
Our birthday with a face. I don't like that, you heard me say. Repeat again, our birthday.
I don't argue, sitting down with a bargain. I beg your pardon, caution. Mistake, I make a nauseous and all of this on my homie, keep an option. One of them breaking necks when I get the double take. When I take takes, straight no debate, the pressure elevate. Ain't got no time to negotiate, never chase, I set the pace. 5-star click, from the quick to the great.
You wanna see me in the shiny flash? You got to sell a pretty face. Gotta sell you dope, hurt you mad. I don't really wanna understand. Got a missile lane, got a pretty face. I don't partake with a face. I don't like that, you heard me say. Repeat again, I don't partake.
열심히 뛰어봐 나는 놈이고 몇 발치 앞에서 해줄게 ins 말은 그 못해 나 쓰러져 더미노 번에 난 fair game yes I'm a 신사 비상 pack it up 진상 비상 shoot it up 비상 산책을 듯이 느려 티타민 판에 쏙보 내가 한 peace out
Locked and loaded like my gun, you told it. Take me to the battle, my team would know it. Skies pitch black till we pull up and glow it. I'm all game with it, no I never get off it. Every word goes drama, all the boys I get the trauma. Diamonds blister up to pot, pretty face and let it fool you. They say I paid making me really wanna. Now I got a paved the way, they'll never walk
Got a
on.
Mr. A and got a pretty face. I don't bargain. I don't partake with a face. I don't bargain. I don't like that, you heard me say. I don't bargain. Repeat again, I don't partake. So tired of hates and comments. Why you got no sense that's common? The beat got cooked like ramen. I just make gala and I dress up every diamond. I know the I don't bargain. You can price me, look it up on garments. 나는 너무 이해는 놈이 난데 채널 고정이 5번으로 내 양이 남네. Got a Mr. A, got a pretty face. I don't partake with a face. I don't like that, you heard me say. Repeat again, I don't partake. Got a Mr. A, got a pretty face. I don't partake with a face. I don't like that, you heard me say. Repeat again, I don't partake.
저희 자리로 돌아가실게요.
인사드리겠습니다. 둘, 셋.
안녕하세요, 올딩 프로젝트입니다.
PUBG 네이션스 컵 2026인 서울에 오신 배틀그라운드 팬 여러분 정말 반갑습니다. 여러분 재밌게 보고 계신가요? 저희도 무대 올라오기 전에 경기를 잠깐 봤었는데요. 왜 이렇게 많은 분들이 몰입하는지 이제 좀 알 것 같습니다.
짜루경 팬들의 뜨거운 열기를 느껴져서 너무너무 좋아요. 감사합니다.
그리고 특히 대한민국 국가대표팀을 응원하기 위해 모여주신 여기
그리고 저희가 펍지 9주년 이벤트에서도 여러분들과 함께 했었는데요.
오늘은 저희가 여러분들에게 또 다른 무대를 보여드리기 위해서 특별한 매시업 무대를 준비했어요. 열심히 준비했으니까 꼭 끝까지 함께 즐겨주셔야 돼요. 아시겠죠? 그러면 여러분, 저희 다음 매시업 곡 뭔지 혹시 맞힐 수 있는 분 계실까요?
뭘까요?
여러분들이 제일 좋아하시는 곡일 수도 있는데.
어떤가요? 페이머스
유명한 노래? 유명한 노래?
위키드.
키드?
One more time?
One more time.
한 번 더?
어떤 노래 두 개를 매시업 했을까요?
그러면 여러분 저희 다음 무대에서 어떤 노래 두 곡을 매시업했는지 바로 만나보세요.
기대해 주세요.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
들어가두면 we break it. 번영 비그린 girl next to you, that's somehow we fake it. No white color 그뒤엔 좀 showing up her names in their places. 모든 시선들은 날 따라와, but we ain't even famous. Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you play me, we on the floor. Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you play me, we on the floor. Don't you try me, I want some more. We ain't even famous.
Money don't make friends, only got my fam. Pull up in my M's, then I make the money dance. Funny how it goes, but this is how it ends. This is how I live by the name Tarzan. I ain't even famous. 다들 날 보면 all they say less. And my kid in my whip is the latest. 내가 진주라니 my blow by name is the greatest. I'm famous.
원하부터 들어봐. I'll be getting what I need. Those things I've got. Think it's going to my head. While you're looking when I dance. Take a quick pic for your friend. 내 이름 알아둬.
들어가두면 we break it. 번호 bigger than the girl next door. 무대 서면 we fake it. No white color 그뒤엔 좀 차오르는 performance in their places. 모든 시선들은 날 따라와, but we ain't even famous.
내게만 dollars 난 bigger than dollar 초록빛의 color 감출 수 없어 나 사는 best. Not even famous but they wanna be as 같은 공기지만 우린 넌 다른 bitch. 비교만을 걔네 전부 구려 똑같은 거를 do I do it better. 말이 뭐해 I'm a trendsetter all day I show 'em 끝없는
괜찮은 네 말이 원하부터 들어봐. I'll be getting what I need. Those things I've got. Think it's going to my head. While you're looking when I dance. Take a quick pic for your friend. 내 이름 알아둬.
분명 나쁜 아이 나녀들도 들어가두면 we break it. 법무선 줄 모르고 덤벼 법 없이 I just face it.
No white color 그뒤엔 좀 차오르는 performance in their places. 모든 시선들은 날 따라와 but we ain't even famous.
Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you play me, we on the floor. Don't you try me, I want some more.
We ain't even famous.
Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you play me, we on the floor. Don't you try me, I want some more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go.
I like the way you look at me. Look at me. Say ADP. Well, I wanna see your eyes on me. Eyes on me.
We are ADP. Yeah. Say I want it like this. Let me show my wrist. I got them all looking my way. 언제나 take the risk. You know I'll never miss. 날 향한 시선이 쏟대.
Show me you want it like that. 말해봐 what that. For real, for real. I'll show you I got it like that. 날 바라볼 때 집중해 못 들어.
Everybody, let's go.
I like the way you look.
but are you about that action?
여러분들 재밌게 즐기고 계시죠? 아니 오늘 너무 다들 반응도 좋으시고 너무 잘 즐겨주시는 것 같아서 마음이 너무 좋은 것 같아요. 우리 남은곡도 같이 재밌게 즐겨주실 수 있죠?
Are you ready? Let's go. Take your shot.
Yo, take your shot.
Photo shoot.
Say photo shoot.
Hey, to snap it, flick it. Hey, to snap it, flick it.
Say
Hey, snap it, flick it.
Hey,
Yeah,
snap it, flick it.
DJ,
Hey.
drop it. Big and the thrillers. 보란 듯 가리면 밖에. 나 몰라 average. Fashion game I'm managed. Gotta do some damage. 네가 말하는 나지. You gon' need some cameras. Snap it, flick it, cause we work it. Work it, work it. Work it. Work it, work it. Work it. Work it, work it. Work it. Work it, work it.
You're really talking to me like that. Better know that I hit that. That 지겨운 말뿐인 chit chat. 다시 refresh, need a reset. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yeah, give me my respect. 아무도 못해 my vibe except that. Plain one day you gon' get that. Shot. But oh shoot. But oh shoot.
Take your shot. Photo shoot.
Just snap it, flick it. Cause we
Work it. Work it, work it. Work it. Work it, work it. Work it. Work it, work it. Work it. Work it, work it. Work it like a demon. Keep your compliment. My trip so sentimental. Mental misapprove it. Happy mental that I set the
Where
way.
they addicted, could have predicted ambition, bring friction to your jurisdiction. Who they be fiction, lacking conviction. Baby, about the bullet, let 'em take your shot. Photo shoot. Photo shoot.
Take your shot. Photo shoot.
Just snap it, flick it. Cause we
Yeah, we do this all day. Click the bell, we don't play. 난 관심 없고 신경 난 내가 들게. Yeah. See me Medusa. 날 부수는 freezer. 그날 팝아를 show what they really not ready. Say when we pull up.
허세만 떨어진다 아이싱 거래 여기 돈다 털어 착한 정치 경백이 파이나 물레판에 불질러 버려 그래 목숨 걸어 떨고 싶어도 못 털어
Pussy rats on the pussy breaking sweats. Take that stand up, just to give a stand as huggy jump like a leg. Yo, get into the car. Lights, camera, action. Take your shot. Photo shoot. Photo shoot.
다시 너지 않을 이 순간
자꾸 애써. 자꾸
The roller coaster ready to go yeah yeah yeah yeah
Wake up, get up, rising, hit it up, put the jeans in soon. Everybody, all day, better make some room.
여기로 모여 The roller coaster ready to go yeah yeah yeah yeah
one more time, wanna get lost.
up so drunk. I'm picking you up, we about to get drunk, let me cater to you tonight. See you in my frame, this party ain't cater to you cause the light is too bright. I'm in that next song, 경기 버스 verse, like no January dancing in the light. Swinging left to right, 우린 앞을 맞추지. She call me Poppy, yeah, I like it, 할래 너와 나쁘지. We're too legit, 보고 배워 우리 둘 fit. Text me counterfeit, 어디 가도 뒤진 미친 synergy.
Party, head to deck like the moon. Body, body, all day better make some room.
여기로 모여 제 roller coaster ready to go yeah yeah yeah yeah.
Look at the rising, heat it up, cappuccino soon. Everybody, all day better make some room.
여기로 모여 제 roller coaster ready to go yeah yeah yeah yeah.
Let's go. One more time, wanna get lost in the night. 들어줘 song and a light. Come on, just dance with me now, dance with me now. 미쳐봐, 마지막인 것처럼 one last time. Finally here, I'm alive. Come on, just dance with me now, dance with me now. Oh, you play it, baby, play it one more time, just stay it. Baby, shit on my mind, gotta say it. Feel it tight, follow me. Wait, you sure you could keep up? Let's go. One more time, one more time, one more time. To the no. To the song that I like. Come down, dance with me now, dance with me.
Let's go.
One more time, one more time, one more time. To the no. To the song that I like. Come down, dance with me now, dance with me now.
All right, back to the action here for PNC 2026. 3 more games here today. Tego, Rondo, and Erangel coming up in just a few moments. All the players have been delighted by the entertainment that they've gone down, but it's time to get back to business here, Mark, as all of these players want to get back on the board again.
It's like the World Cup vibes, mate. It's hydration break time. We're back in. The guys
Okay,
have a
okay.
chance to reset, okay? We had 2 maps. The first one was very crazy when it came down to zone, but actually 2 good games for some of these teams. So they get the opportunity now to just kind of go back, have a chat away to the coaches, try and figure out what they want to bring to the table, because Tego is different.
Oh, Kickstar was loving it. You could see him there as well. Now he's back on board here for the Americas match for him, because the Americas, I mean, they've been caught in some spots here and there, but I too believe, Matrim, that the firepower of America can fight back.
It should be able to. Like Mark mentioned, the fact that the first game was a little bit weird. I even say the second game was. It's really hard to really navigate those circles given how clustered they were and so coastal. It's going to be all about how fast you can modify off of that. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of always centered circles, but it's really hard whenever you're coming in right off the get-go to figure out, get your feet underneath of you about how rotations, drops, and everything like that are going to go. If everybody is having to just run down to the southeast game after game so quickly, it's just created kind of a Mad Max style of rotate where everybody's just on top of each other multiple times in a row here.
Yeah, I know, and I think that when you think about the teams that have really taken a benefit of those situations, it has been Ukraine and Brazil so far. Like, even in Game 1, it was Brazil that found themselves right beside Ukraine and eventually went down to them at the end. But getting back to the USA points, they've gone for liquid drops, and I know that you can't really go for the Falcons ones when you consider the other teams are inside this lobby. But
Yeah.
I really think that USA need to get something going. Like, they're losing players like Shrimsy in positions that you shouldn't. Like, think about that last one where EA, who, James, to give you credit, you gave them a lot of a shout out in our pre-game talks, but EA stepped up big for them and got that opening kill.
Yep, no, I can't deny it. Cannot deny it, considering that there is technically more power on this board than I thought there was going to be, right? Like, if you've got Indonesia, Philippines, and all these teams kind of looking good as well in this final. These aren't teams and regions that normally get a look in on the international stage. So we'll see if they can continue that, bringing that firepower against some of the more familiar names that we're used to. As currently Brazil in number 1. What a great performance by them so far. 10 kills in the previous one, 5 in the one before, but with a 6th place. They're able to continue that on. That is strong. One thing that has been lurking in the background though, Mark, with just 2 games down, admittedly it's a very small sample size, is Thailand, right? This team that we were scared of coming in, considering their PGS performance. They've been able to win a PGC, a 2nd with 4 kills, a 4th with 3 kills. I think for Thailand, it's just a matter of time before a win comes and big kill counts as well.
Yeah, look, they are a big name here, and obviously expectations are always going to be high. The question always comes down to, and this is the gamble, so again, I picked them up. They're a 2-2, so you have to look at FS. Obviously, yes, they won PGC, but you look at Thailand, I'd say maybe Thailand had stronger performance. So would you say 50% of that roster is going to be outperforming the other? Potentially. But I actually like how they've been playing. Even game number 1, they backfilled that Team UK compound and they waited for the UK versus South Korea fight to kick off. Then they sort of played in. The zone was quite chaotic and obviously it was quite hard for them to get into. Same again this last one. They're playing towards the zone. It just feels like, for me, James, they haven't adapted to the zone shifts, especially when we see the update that's happened to the game.
It's a tough one, right? Because I mean, even if you can adapt to them, they're gonna be more varied, guaranteed, regardless of how it does come along. Especially like we haven't seen it materialize just yet, Matrim, and eventually we'll get onto Rondo, and maybe we'll see one happen. But there is gonna be eventually a circle that's insane on Rondo, and somehow people are gonna have to solve that puzzle.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it. I like curveball circles in fashion, but whenever they are constant, it makes it a lot harder for teams to really figure out how to make them work. You're kind of playing a little bit of a numbers game off of where you're assuming people are going to be keeping out and how they're going to be playing forward. And a squad that I feel is kind of suffering inside the midst of all of that is China. China, I came in with a lot higher expectations than what's been going on. We know that this is a squad that can frag their way into it, but whenever you have Ukraine coming in with so much momentum, so much also fire on their side of it, it's made a lot of squads be hesitant to come in on edge approaches that they would normally take in with a lot more gusto. And I think that that's had a trickle-down effect into multiple early circles where people are playing way safer than we normally see.
Yeah, that said though, you were 4ths of 17 Gaming, who is a current PGS, or one of our PGS champions, alongside Spaceman, who haphazardly did take an MVP spot on a PGS as well. So technically that is an amazing roster, to say the least. Beyond that as well, you got South Korea, 4th place at the moment, 7th place with 6 kills, 3rd place with 3 kills. I can't begrudge too many teams for having a harder time with that first game, considering circles like, but anyway, that's by the by. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a break apparently here for PNC, and when we return we'll be getting into game number 3 here for the festivities for our 15-game series.
Nhưng mà sao tự nhiên Solar này tự nhiên là chim.
As esports athletes, Zowie continuously develops tailored products, empowering gamers to bring their best out. Today, we are launching the all-new XL2566X Plus, which uses the newly developed Fast TN panel and upgraded Diac 2 technology. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
For the first time ever, you get next-gen power in gaming earbuds, giving you flawless wireless. That's plug and play. Now you've got 100+ audio presets at your fingertips, so you can hear bad guys better, hear whatever you want better.
Hát sau bánh lâu phải cực.
That's a giant leap for earbuds, and a new way to play for glory.
Cháu lúc này ngồi làm một ván guồng què gì đó.
The app called the biggest cheat code in the industry is here for PC and
như kiểu tí chẳng hạn.
It's got real-time audio control to do crazy things.
Tí chết gì?
Okay. So use it and abuse it, you crazy person.
Không.
It's the new
Giờ meta đơn giản lắm, Sorai. Meta giờ cứ chơi như hồi trước là được. Đúng rồi, cũng chỉ là mấy bài như vậy à, chả có thay đổi gì hết. Giờ cái mùa nó đơn giản lắm. Master vẫn được này. Đó, Saya này, rồng này. Đó, còn không Mega này, còn không Chinix này. Nớp không, cũng không có nớp lắm nhưng mà vẫn chơi được, nhưng mà giờ người ta chơi kiểu cái dạng robot hơn, ngon hơn. Vậy. Đâu rồi kia.
Alo. Có to quá không?
Tôi thấy tại cái stream của em bị delay.
Biết rồi.
Đồ má cái giọng lồn con trai phải lồn đặt như vậy. Má sao giọng giống cái giọng gì đó lúc nãy em bạch lên như kiểu giọng giống Thành vậy. Đây.
(9년이라는) 게 저희가 처음 오픈할 때는 상상도 못했던 숫자예요.
배틀그라운드의 지난 시간은 저희가 혼자 써내려간 기록이 아니었습니다.
전 세계에 계신 팬분들과 함께 써내려간 이야기였다고 생각합니다.
Ê, nhưng mà nếu là Liên Minh huyền thoại
không lấp cờ lại là kẻ hủy diệt IEL Huy Forum cái lồng ma.
얼리 액세스도 본청할 서버가 터졌어요. 크래시는 엄청나고 다양한 미친 듯이 높고, 근데 신기한 건 그 와중에 유저분들이 계속 들어오시는 거예요.
개발팀이 너무 작아서 모두가 달라붙어야 했는데 그렇게 해서 돌아갔다는 게 신기할 정도였어요.
PUBG는 유저분들의 반응에 기반해서 변하려고 굉장히 많이 노력한 프로덕트예요.
커뮤니티에서 날카로운 피드백이 올라올 때 그 목소리들이 저희 방향성에 녹아들어서 실제 결과물로 나오는 순간들이 있거든요.
저희가 뼈대를 만들지만 이 게임을 완성시키는 건 결국 플레이하시는 분들이에요.
한순간의 판단으로 모든 게 뒤바뀌는 예측 불가능한 서사가 배틀그라운드의 가장 큰 매력이라고 생각합니다.
익숙한데 매번 새로운 전략이 필요하고 그 안에서 누구나 자기만의 이야기를 만들 수 있어요. 그게 9년 동안 전 세계 다양한 배경의 플레이어들이 계속 모이는 이유라고 생각합니다.
대회 현장에서 울리는 팬분들의 함성소리, 중계 채널의 실시간 반응들, 그리고 커뮤니티의 다양한 의견들이 모여 배틀그라운드 세계가 더 넓게 확장되고 있습니다.
Ôi, hello chúa. Chúa.
처음
Chúa
태어난
vô
고향 같은
cái
곳이에요. 7년 만에 다시 돌아온 PNC 2026은
vô cái đường link của Sora.
중심으로 PUBG 세계관 전체가 모이는 특별한 공간으로 진화합니다.
PNC라는 무대를 유저분들께 돌려드리자는 마음으로 다양한 콘텐츠를 준비하고 있어요.
뭐 xem cái đường link
현장에
của
오시는
Sora đi.
분들은 장충체육관에서 배틀그라운드
그
세계관을
우리
만끽하며 마치 펍지 테마파크에 온 듯한 분위기를 만나실 수 있고요.
PNC 2026에서
정리
처음
MC
선보이는 PUBG 판타지는 여러분이 직접 자신만의 로스터를 구성해 전 세계 팬들과 경쟁하는 컨텐츠예요. 보는 재미를 넘어 참여하며 즐기는 새로운 e스포츠 경험을 하실 수 있습니다.
이번 PNC에는 24개 국가의 최고의 선수들이 모였습니다. 이들이 각자의 개성을 살려 어떤 생존 드라마를 만들어낼지 기대됩니다.
전 세계 팬분들이 PUBG라는 이름 아래 자부심을 느끼는 PNC가 되었으면 좋겠습니다. 10주년도 그 이유도 실망시켜 드리지 않으려고 열심히 준비하고 있어요. 유저분들이 언제나 새로운 즐거움과 가능성을 발견할 수 있는 저희 역할이라고 생각해요.
저희가 더 노력해야겠다는 거, 그리고 여러분의 게임을 만들어 나가는 이 팀을
Nãy giờ chưa, nãy là làm tiếng máy rồi chưa bị ban.
Em Sora hình như là bật đéo bật kiếm tiền nên là đéo bị ban không?
Tại mà tại tỷ số được cái đéo gì đâu mà kiếm tiền.
PNC 2016에서 만나보세요.
Sợ là sợ ăn bản quyền thôi chứ.
Và nó cần phải cứ bắt bắt đi cầm
Sợ mất tiêu cái phần chat.
ghi công cho hết tại sử dụng
biết
Ui, chú dùng model rush nè. Bây giờ đợi 10 phút. Mẹ hát một đống xong giờ bắt đợi 20 phút. Mẹ đó.
quý vãi luôn.
PUBG her şey. Bunda çoğu yaşadığım ilk şeyin ilkini PUBG sayesinde yaşadım. Merhaba, ben Bünyamin Kod Marco Yalçınkaya. 6 yıldır benim için değişmeyen tek şey kazanmasın. Ben her zaman çok hırslıydım. Ya bir şey ne olursa olsun yaptığım şey, onu yapıyorsam o işte en iyi olmak istedim her zaman. Mardin'de doğdum, Mardin'de yaşadım. Güneydoğu Anadolu bölgesi. Mardin'in Kızıltepe ilçesinde doğdum, büyüdüm, orada yaşadım. Çocukken biraz daha çekingendim. Yani küçükken de çok bilgisayarla işi dışıydım ama çocukken dış dünyayı unutmuştum. Daha çok bilgisayarla ilgilendiğim için biraz çekilgenimin tümünü PUBG oynuyordum. Yani çok mutlu hissediyordum kendimi. Ya PUBG'de hani herhangi bir şeye bağlı kalmıyorsun. Çok fazla farklı senaryo var. Hayatta kalmaya çalışabilirsin. İstediğin gibi savaşabilirsin. Çok fazla farklı senaryo olması, oyunda yapabilecek bir sürü şey vardı. O da beni çok hoşuma gidiyordu yani. Benim ailem hiç e-spordan anlamıyordu ilk başlarda. İkisi öğretmen. Başlarda bu nasıl mümkün dediler. Yani böyle oyun oynayarak nasıl para kazanacaksın? Ne etmeye çalıştım, olmadı. Beni okula gönderiyorlardı. Ben okuldan kaçıyordum. İnternet kafeye gidiyordum. Baktılar ben ikna olmuyorum. En son dediler ki şansını deneyelim. Tamam dediler, sana bir şans vereceğiz. Ben de o şansı güzel değerlendirdim.
Turnuvaya her gün düzenli olarak analizler, antrenmanlar yaparak çalıştık.
Çok iyi hissettim. Çünkü oyun oynamayı zaten çok seviyorum. Bir de ben oyun oynuyorum diye bana para veriyorlar. Dünyadaki en güzel his olabilir ya.
Thằng 27.
Quá lâu luôn á. Yeah.
Yani ilk defa
Mà 10 phút nữa lát phải đợi set up trận đấu này nọ. Thêm 50 phút.
İyi ki olmuşum dedim orada. O günden beri de diyorum.
Mày thằng trời ơi, nổi cái đéo gì làm cái đéo gì cái phút luôn rồi, what the fuck.
Hayatımda ilk defa uluslararası bir turnuvaya gelmiştim ve onda da 6. oldum. Onlar da şok oldu. Çok şaşırmışlardı. Geldiğimde hepsi bana sarıldı, tebrik etti. Çok benimle gurur duyduklarını söylediler. Ailemin o söyledikleri beni de çok mutlu etmişti. Ağlamışlardı yani. İşte kulüplerden daha büyük maaşlar almaya başladım. Kendime araba aldım. kendime yatırım yaptım. Çünkü aslında çok ferahladım PGS'ten sonra. Sadece bunu korumak istedim yani. Onun bir stresi vardı. Bunu her zaman çünkü bir kere o duyguyu tattım. Artık bu duyguyu her zaman tatmak istiyordum. Ondan sonra Türkiye'den çok fazla zaten talep vardı. Bir de biz BBL tercih ettik. BBL'e geçişimiz bu şekilde oldu. Beklenti çok yüksekti. Çünkü çok iyi bir turnuvadan sonra geldik. Kulübün de, fanların da beklentisi de çok yüksekti. En çok zorlayan BBL'den sonra DA'ya geçtiğimde aslında çok kötü bir yıl geçirmiştik ve çünkü o zaman da çok hırslıydım ve hani aslında o eski takım arkadaşlarım bir şeylere çok inanarak, çok başarılı olacağıma inanarak gelmiştim ve aslında hiçbir şey eski gibi olmamıştı, kötü gitmişti. O zaman çok zorlanmıştım, kendime yedirememiştim.
Có một tài khoản coi trên máy tính, coi trên điện
Çok
thoại máy tính
hızlı
là hai
duygu
người xem.
değişimi olan bir insanım. Hani bir anda çok sinirlenebilirim, çok anlık karar veren bir insanım. Aslında işte kötü bir dönemden geçerken de işte sürekli anlık karar değişikliklerim oluyordu. Bazen oyundan soğuyordum, bazen ne yapacağımı bilemiyordum.
Bayağı geldi.
Çok sabırlıyım eskiye nazaran. Çok daha disiplinliyim. Yani bir de çok daha eskiden çok daha sıcakkanlıydım. Şimdi biraz daha soğukkanlıyım. Bana tecrübe kazandırdı. Her tecrübe beni bir adım daha ileri taşıdı. Yani birçok açıdan birçok arkadaşım buradan tanıdım. Yani hayatımda ilk defa parayı buradan kazandım. İlk defa yurt dışına PUBG sayesinde çıktım. Yeni kültürler gördüm. PUBG sayesinde İngilizcemi çok geliştirdim. Yani hayatımın birçok yerine bana büyük etkisi oldu bu oyun. Evet, PUBG benim hayatımda çok büyük bir dönüm noktası. Bu sefer Türkiye çok daha farklı geliyor. Bu sene bizden korkun. 6 yıldır siz olmasanız ben de olmazdım. Beni desteklediğiniz için, bana moral, ben düştüğümde beni kaldırdığınız için ve hep yanımda olduğunuz için çok teşekkür ediyorum hepinize.
A new way to play Rondo, smoke that interacts with the map, and some balance adjustments. All this and more as we dive into the Update 42.1 patch report. First up, there's a new way to dive into Rondo, with the Blue Zone rule set available through Arcade Labs. The action starts immediately, with the first zone shown on the map right at drop for all 64 players to fight over. There's also an increased loot and vehicle spawn rate to help you gear up faster. But be careful, there's no wait time for blue zones. Blue zone damage is increased. You won't have any special zones to worry about, but you'll still have to fight for every inch in this fast-paced take on the map. Can you beat out the other challengers to secure that chicken dinner? Next up, we've made some changes to make smoke more realistic. As we mentioned in the 2026 roadmap, smoke is now interactive and can be displaced by explosions and other physical collisions, such as vehicles, care package landings, and more. No longer will smoke be the ultimate cover. You'll have to utilize strategy to make the most of it or fight against it. We've made a few balance changes this patch as well. The SLR has gotten some improvements. We've rebalanced the blue zone a bit, and healing items have seen some adjustments to weight and cast time. You can find out more about these changes in the patch. There's also a new rank season. Racing mode added to UGC mode. Intense Battle Royale can now take place on Haven, and more. So be sure to check out the patch notes for full details. Update 42.1 is here. So grab up some rebalanced gear, drop into a faster-paced Rondo, and don't wait around for the smoke to clear. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
There it is, the Google Play Point. These points get you more than a high score. Play, earn, and redeem them for exclusive rewards that supercharge your gameplay. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
Fueled by the same passion as esports athletes, Zowie continuously develops tailored products, empowering gamers to bring their best out. Today, we are launching the all-new XL2566X Plus, which uses the newly developed Fast TN panel and upgraded DIAC 2 technology. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
For the first time ever, you get next-gen power in gaming earbuds, giving you flawless wireless. That's plug and play. Now you've got 100+ audio presets at your fingertips. So you can hear bad guys cloud, hear whatever you want, better. That's a giant leap for earbuds, and a new way to play for glory.
Arctis Nova 7 Gen 2. The app called the biggest cheat code in the industry is here for PC and console. It's got real-time audio control to do crazy things.
Okay.
So use it and abuse it, you crazy person.
Đấy rồi.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to get into game number 3, finally here for PNC 2026. It's going to be me and Matthew bringing you all the action. Thank you, Mark and Gibson, for that amazing segment. Let's get you out of here now.
Dust-ups for vehicles.
Okay.
Mentally reset, right? It's been a bit.
It's getting warm here as well in Poland, and it's going to be warm on the battlegrounds as well. No doubt, no doubt. We are ready to rock and roll, though. Oh, I thought it was never coming. But salvation, Matrim. Oh, we're back.
Oh, we are now here, and all these guys are pretty much famous. Not almost famous, but see how this is going to go. Lots of tail end drops coming out around Wolsong and kind of Godok area, but that's no surprise. They should be able to separate out just fine. Korea kind of on top of Great Britain on their kind of flyout, though.
Yeah, Great Britain had a bit of a hard time in the survival stage over going to Heimo, as they found themselves being chased down by Finland in one or two of those scenarios. But of course, Finland's not up here at all. Great Britain's just looking for vehicles. But Finland starts things off against the United States straight away. Kickstart down. If they could somehow confirm that kill, that would be huge. And they do from Satta.
Ooh, I mean, there is still enough time to potentially go and pick up the chip, maybe get a res, so not all is lost for USA on an early out, but a very aggressive early Finland, yet again trying to make something happen, is also continuing in trend. We have another Southeastern Circle.
Yeah, this was one of the hot drops that we kind of anticipated from Tego, right? As much as, well, basically we just didn't have a lead into this game, so we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. Oh, but that being said, Germany feels more pain once again, as Pains is gonna be hurting. Oh no.
Just runs in for territory control, and this is a lot of jockeying for position. Even Argentina getting involved in it all, as now it is going to be Tigger trying to make his way down the side. Runs out of ammo. DraftKings couldn't quite do it.
This straight away yells to me, the players have come back not exactly warm, right? Like, we are seeing some like weird little like moves here and there, really causing some little casualties to start things off here for Tego. So break might have got to them just a little bit for the moment, but everyone needs to recompose themselves, get back. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of respect on the line as well.
Oh, well, I think that all that's happened is kind of for naught, because Colaris, I think we just got some news.
Yes, I got word just then that it is going to be a regame, so maybe that's why some moments here have gone a little bit awry. So I guess kind of our inkling and suspicion might have been on point here. We can actually maybe bring Gibson and Mark back in to talk if this is going to be a regame, the word that we just got.
Just drive at each other as fast as possible. Get your kills.
So they're now picking on the North American teams? Why?
They just, they said they're just going through all the PAS regions, but the best thing about it is yesterday they were asked, like, how do they feel about going into today? Ooh. Not good. They didn't want to play anyone in the lobby.
Look good.
But I think
Gustav looks spent right now.
Yeah, they do not look best pleased.
But the big thing for me is what? We've just taken a point off Finland. It was their third of the day and we've just removed it.
True. Yes, they'd only had a few points in the previous games here. As we wait and hopefully get into our game once again quite quickly. The crowd just chilling, gonna be chilling here for the moment. I see a lot of Hand fans. I can only imagine it's very hot in Korea and very hot for the players as they're trying to keep themselves composed here, Matrim.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the nature of the beast whenever we get to like this types of land. It's gonna be really big. There's a lot of moving parts that are going on with it. So sometimes you just end up with a couple of technical issues, and given the fact that it seems like it's a little bit warm out there right now, everybody knows the PCs don't inherently like that, so probably just trying to make sure that everything's getting situated the best they can. Most of these kind of issues tend to get worked out pretty quick on day one, so I'm hoping that we're getting to the tail end of it. We'll have to see how long it takes to get all this reconfigured, but there is a lot of pressure that's starting to mount on the players because the longer this kind of sits, the more you start kind of getting in your own head.
I'm going to be honest, though, as well, if you look at like some of their mouse movement just then, as well as how locked in still Thailand was, I don't think every team's got the memo just yet here, Mark. So we saw some sprays quite clearly there from Brazil, even though a few of their members were being taught to be. Yeah, Thailand still looked locked in.
No, they eager to go, and definitely a cooler and calmer compared to Gustav. Gustav looked a little bit hot under the collar there, and I think you made the comment about the break, because some of these teams weren't ready coming back. They weren't warmed up for whatever reason, and actually having another break here potentially could affect mental, and they've got to manage that because they've got 15 games. We've played 2. We've still got to close out another 3 today. And it's about keeping that point average. I worry if Denmark has been disrupted by this break, that actually the output for the rest of day number 1 might not go their way.
Yeah, the breaks are tough here for these players. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to go to another 15-minute break, I am being informed here, to solve some of the technical issues that they have on site as well. So bear with us, guys. Go and grab yourself a snack. Go make yourself a drink. We'll be back for a PNC as quickly as possible here for 2026.
Details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
For the first time ever, you get next-gen power in gaming earbuds, giving you flawless wireless. That's plug and play. Now you've got 100+ audio presets at your fingertips, so you can hear bad guys better, hear whatever you want better. That's a giant leap for earbuds, and a new way to play for glory.
Arctis Nova 7 Gen 2. The app called the biggest cheat code in the industry is here for PC and console. It's got real-time audio control to do crazy things.
Okay.
So use it and abuse it, you crazy person. It's the new gold standard.
Team Vietnam as your 2025 PNC champions.
원이라는 게 저희가 처음 오픈할 때는 상상도 못했던 숫자예요.
배틀그라운드의 지난 시간은 저희가 혼자 써내려간 기록이 아니었습니다.
전 세계에 계신 팬분들과 함께 써내려간 이야기였다고 생각합니다.
그 깊은 감사를 담아 PNC 2026의 문을 엽니다.
얼리 액세스 오픈 첫날부터 서버가 터졌어요. 크래시는 엄청나고 사양은 미친 듯이 높고, 근데 신기한 건 그 와중에 유저분들이 계속 들어오시는 거예요.
개발팀이 너무 작아서 모두가 달라붙어야 했는데 그렇게 해서 돌아갔다는 게 신기할 정도였어요.
PUBG는 유저분들의 반응에 기반해서 변하려고 굉장히 많이 노력한 프로덕트예요.
커뮤니티에서 날카로운 피드백이 올라올 때 그 목소리들이 저희 방향성에 녹아들어서 실제 결과물로 나오는 순간들이 있거든요.
저희가 뼈대를 만들지만 이 게임을 완성시키는 건 결국 플레이하시는 분들이에요.
한순간의 판단으로 모든 게 뒤바뀌는 예측 불가능한 서사가 배틀그라운드의 가장 큰 매력이라고 생각합니다.
익숙한데 매번 새로운 전략이 필요하고 그 안에서 누구나 자기만의 이야기를 만들 수 있어요. 그게 9년 동안 전 세계 다양한 배경의 플레이어들이 계속 모이는 이유라고 생각합니다.
대회 현장에서 울리는 팬분들의 함성소리, 중계 채널의 실시간 반응들, 그리고 커뮤니티의 다양한 의견들이 모여 배틀그라운드 세계가 더 넓게 확장되고 있습니다.
장충체육관은 PNC가 처음 태어난 고향 같은 곳이에요. 7년 만에 다시 돌아온 PNC 2026은 e스포츠를 중심으로 PUBG 세계관 전체가 모이는 특별한 공간으로 진화합니다.
PNC라는 무대를 유저분들께 돌려드리자는 마음으로 다양한 콘텐츠를 준비하고 있어요.
현장에 오시는 분들은 장충체육관에서 배틀그라운드 세계관을 만끽하며 마치 PUBG 테마파크에 온 듯한 분위기를 만나실 수 있고요.
PNC 2026에서 처음 선보이는 PUBG 판타지는 여러분이 직접 자신만의 로스터를 구성해 전 세계 팬들과 경쟁하는 컨텐츠예요. 보는 재미를 넘어 참여하며 즐기는 새로운 e스포츠 경험을 하실 수 있습니다.
이번 PNC에는 24개 국가의 최고의 선수들이 모였습니다. 이들이 각자의 개성을 살려 어떤 생존 드라마를 만들어낼지 기대됩니다.
전 세계 팬분들이 PUBG라는 이름 아래 자부심을 느끼는 PNC가 되었으면 좋겠습니다.
10주년도 그 이후도 실망시켜드리지 않으려고 열심히 준비하고 있어요.
유저분들이 언제나 새로운 즐거움과 가능성을 발견할 수 있는 환경을 만드는 게 저희 역할이라고 생각해요.
저희가 더 노력해야겠다는 것, 그리고 여러분의 게임을 만들어 나가는 이 팀을 믿어주셔도 된다는 것.
PUBG라는 공통 분모 아래 전 세계가 하나 되는 순간을 계속 만들어가겠습니다. 여러분과 함께 만들어갈
PUBG의 다음 이야기
PNC 2026에서
만나보세요. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
Fueled by the same passion as esports athletes, Zowie continuously develops tailored products, empowering gamers to bring their best out. Today, we are launching the all-new XL2566X Plus, which uses the newly developed Fast TN panel and upgraded DIAC2 technology. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
For the first time ever, you get next-gen power in gaming earbuds, giving you flawless wireless. That's plug and play. Now you've got 100+ audio presets at your fingertips. So you can hear bad guys better, hear whatever you want better. That's a giant leap for earbuds, and a new way to play for glory.
Arctis Nova 7 Gen 2. The app called the biggest cheat code in the industry is here for PC and console. It's got real-time audio control to do crazy things.
Okay.
So use it and abuse it, you crazy person. It's the new gold standard.
Here we go. Watch me glow. Are you ready for more? Hey! Move like this. Can you move like this? like this? Can you move like this? Can you move like this? Level up, can you move like this? Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you how I move. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step groove. We on a whole other level. You can feel it in the bass and the treble. We on a whole new vibe. Let it go and just come for the ride. Yeah, we got this. Ain't nobody gonna top this. Drop this. Move like this. Can you move like this? Can you move like this? Can you move like this? Move like this. Can you move like this? Level up. Can you move like this? Move like this. Can you move like this? Move like this, can you move like this? Can you move like this? Can you move like this? Can you move like this? Level up, can you move like this? Yeah, yeah. You can watch me go. You can watch me go. You can watch me go. Move like this, can you move like this? Can you move like this? Can you move like this? Move like this, can you move like this? Can you move like this? Level up, can you move like this? Level up, yeah, yeah.
You know when you on time, you ain't gotta wait. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting. All this tension, anticipation, building up so much you can't take it. Remember, life is whatever you make it. So you know what I'm selling. You know that saying about these lemons. Talk my shit, ain't no telling that I can get it done in any other setting. Like, is it time? Yep, yes sir. 'Cause I can feel that victory, and it ain't no mystery. Sound good if you're next to me. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Are you ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Get ready. Oh yeah, oh yes I is. Been ready since I was a kid. And if you look on the wall, then there I is. With a whole lot of trophies, yeah I win. It's like, so you know what I'm selling. You know that saying about these lemons. When I start talking, there ain't no telling that I'ma get it done in any other say like, is it time? Yep, yes sir. 'Cause I can feel that victory, and it ain't no mystery. Sound good if you're next to me. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Are you ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Get ready. Come on, come on. Okay. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Are you ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Get ready. You know when you on time, you ain't gotta wait.
can hide from my sight.
Enemy over here. Over here.
I will find the answers to the mysteries of creation.
still got some fight in me.
Choose your map. Welcome to Second Floor.
One magical step at a time.
You'll be rewarded. Just one more mission.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Stay calm, Juno. You can do this.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I love the guys in that team. I had a few nights out when Michael got me lost in a Korean alleyway, which was great fun.
Yeah,
but I'm a big, you know what? Let's see them do well. They do have a star on their jersey for a reason, right?
No one can hide from my sight. No one can hide from my sight.
For a little bit of drama, could be.
I'm interested how China's going to play this out, because a few of their players are in cars, and I think Lil Ghost is going to take the emergency pickup that he has set up. So maybe he can be eyes in the sky, allowing the information forwards, but Levante goes down to Scab straight away on this north side, as Neutral does have a BRDM in play, but I don't think they're going to get Levante up. Maybe they can get in there, get the blue chip and out, but it's going to be difficult to get this save off. They're still mulling around. They're still waiting around here.
I mean, Levante can pump up some big numbers. The problem is, Batulins is so far away from it, he's going to have to pretty much just reverse his way in. He can get there, but Scav's just going to be coming after it too little too late. Now Batulins, you made a commitment in. Maybe he wants something that was on top of Levante, or maybe just to secure the blue chip.
Yeah, it looks that way. Not bad at all, especially just having the smoke down to be able to make that happen and then get out there. But the thing is as well, is where are you actually going to res is the question. Do you go all the way back to army base, or do you try for something a bit more central? Because those are also going to be kind of camped at the moment. Here's China. Little Ghost coming in from the emergency pickup that we saw before here. Michael does take him down, but actually stolen away by Schiller here. So Turkey exerting themselves on some of this third party.
This is just right on the outskirts of Godok, moving into the northwest, right along that road that Great Britain was trying to take control of. They've got China on one side of them with those couple of shots. Turkey is also going to be moving into a much more encroaching angle. Korea's on the other side of it as well. You can see USA already in a little bit of trouble off of their rotate. We do also have Philippines bumping into Germany, so a lot of small independent fights that are going to be going on. And we still haven't even gotten Brazil into the circle yet.
No, we have not. They're trying their best on that south side here. Code Marco trying to take down Zhao Wu, but unsuccessful as he switches over to his mini. But the problem with a lot of this hillside is not only, yes, can a lot of teams co-inhabit this area, but also there's so much foliage cover from these trees. So if somebody gets out of range of you, technically they're in line of sight in terms of actual just shots going their way, but you can't quite see them because of all of those leaves.
Oh, rolls right by Philippines, but Alec is going to go down. Day for them so far.
Yep, a few shots coming his way though, as Justice is trying to dig on down and burrow themselves in on the north side of this circle. Yeah, a little bit precarious though, right? You've got a downed player right next to you whilst you're doing that. As Alec here, no doubt will bleed.
Moving into the hills where you have some more safety, but you still have the fields that are just to the south of you where Godok can really just tear into you if you get too close. A couple of squads that are going to have to be making a little bit more of dangerous moves. We still have USA on the outside of the circle with Argentina just to the south of them. Brazil's making the commitment into Godok. Then over into the northwest, we still have Wolsong, where that is where we saw Neutral go for their reses. And this is, see if they can get it off and get away, as it is going to be Vietnam on the hunt for them.
A bit concerned because there's emergency pickups that are kind of like planned here by some teams, but it's getting to the point where it might be too late to make it happen. Oh, unless you're going to take some casualties in midair. So we'll see.
khá những cái sự khó khăn. Họ vẫn đang chỉ ở khu vực rìa vòng bo và cái red zone này hoàn toàn có thể là một thứ sẽ làm cho team Mỹ phải cảm thấy mình quá là đen đủi.
Vâng, nên nhớ rằng chiếc xe bọc thép của Bartolin cũng chỉ còn lại nửa cây thôi. Nếu tìm được cho mình những món có thể sửa chữa lại cho mình chiếc xe bọc thép này thì sẽ tiếp tục có phần là tự tin hơn đến team neutral. Bây giờ thì người vừa được hồi sinh neutral xuống thì sẽ lút ở đâu đây? Theo Việt Nam ta vẫn đang rất gần họ, vẫn đang muốn săn cái xe bọc thép của đội hình bên phía team đối phương.
Phần Lan cũng đang ở gần nha. Chúng ta để ý đến team neutral thì cũng phải cẩn thận. Những đội tuyển có thể di chuyển sớm và đứng chờ sẵn chúng ta từ trước. Của Delwin. Delwin đang có một góc để lấy thông tin. Nhưng bây giờ thì cả Sology cùng với một người đồng đội đang tiến lên để có thể bắn cận bên phía team neutral. Adoji có mặt của Delwin rồi. Chúng ta mất một người. Và có vẻ như đây sẽ là khoảng thời gian mà bên phía team Việt Nam cần phải quay đầu và trông cách an toàn hơn. Nào Adoji đã lộ vị trí từ trước. Tấn Vũ sẽ là người muốn giao tranh với đối phương để kéo lại cái lợi thế về người không còn cho các đội viên bên phía của team neutral nữa.
Vâng, bây giờ thì Lu cũng đang ở đó, và Bartolin là người duy nhất đang lộ diện mà thôi. Liệu rằng chúng ta sẽ quét nốt bộ đôi còn lại đến đội hình bên phía team neutral hay không đây? Trong đó phía bên này thì nào Tấn Vũ đang di chuyển đối phương. Tình huống solo đã tới nơi, vì Himat cũng như vậy. Himat cũng đang di chuyển xe sang. Hai quả nét gặp nhau với quả nét này nó gọn gàng hơn rất nhiều. Adoji sẽ đi mà thôi. Vòng bò đã tới rồi và cơ hội để cứu lại Adoji gần như là con số 0 để tới đội hình bên phía team neutral. Chúng ta có mình thêm một điểm kill, nhưng đổi lại mất đi người đội trưởng mang tên đó là Delwin. Ra khỏi xe, ngay tức có cho mình khẩu Linux đến từ chiếc Himat. Linux trong tay Himat đã bắn đến tận 5 viên rồi các bạn ơi. Và bây giờ đối phương đang nằm khuất sau một gốc cây.
Quả nét.
Còn nó quả nét, nhưng solo bắt được với chiếc Lu. Vậy là chỉ còn lại một người đến từ team neutral mà thôi. Không ai khác, nếu tôi nhớ không nhầm, đó chính là vị trí của Bartolin.
Còn hai, neutral còn 2.
À, một người nữa vừa xuống.
Levante là người được cứu và anh ta không có cái gì trong tay mình cả.
Chính xác. Levante có vẻ đã lộ trong tình huống này thì tôi Levante ra đi luôn bởi vì chỉ có Scavi. Và Lu bị confirm bởi vị trí Sology rồi. Vậy là chỉ còn đúng một người đến từ team neutral. Chúng ta đã có cho mình đó là 3 điểm kill. Quay trở về đây tiếp tục là pha confirm thôi. Sẽ là điểm kill thứ 4 đến từ đại diện Việt Nam. Rất đơn giản. Nhưng mà Scavi ở cánh thi đấu khác vẫn cai hết kịp. Công viên cuối cùng đến từ Scavi. Ảo thật.
Vâng, chúng ta cứ làm và đội tuyển khác lại ăn được. Indonesia mất người rồi và đó là điểm kill cho Bustic bên phía của Ukraine.
Giờ tôi nhìn thấy vị trí Himat dí tận nơi đúng không ạ?
Vẫn có thể ăn đại được nhanh thật. Nào bên phía team Phần Lan thì họ cũng sau khi ăn được những cái điểm kill của team neutral thì họ đang muốn di chuyển vào khu vực vòng bo. Họ đang muốn cam lại đường vào của đội tuyển Việt Nam chúng ta. Đây sẽ là một pha combat khó khăn cho team Việt Nam khi mà đối phương vẫn còn đầy đủ 4 người và họ đã có thể giăng được đội hình ra trước rồi. Nhưng bây giờ thì đội tuyển Đức mới là nạn nhân của Phần Lan. Mất 2 người, cả Pen cả Ares. Và liệu đây có phải là cơ hội để cho team Việt Nam của chúng ta thừa nước đục thả câu hay không đây? Ôi, Sology bị bắn rồi, Kiracy ở rất gần. Quả nét ném ra và nó không thể kết thúc Sology khi mà anh chàng này đã di chuyển một cách cực kỳ khôn khéo. Ngay lập tức chúng ta trả nét nhưng nó không kịp để có thể lấy được điểm kill của đối phương. Trong khi đó thì Neymar cùng với cả Messi đang giao tranh với nhau rồi.
Một lần nữa đúng không ạ? Biancamo vừa rồi với chiếc Pipa rồi. Tần Vũ bị đốc out bởi cái trick. Vâng, Indonesia họ đã có cho mình góc bắn quá khó chịu đi. Và đó lý do vì sao mà Tần Vũ đã phải nằm xuống và khả năng cao sẽ không thể cứu lại Tần Vũ ở trong pha thiếu này. Sology còn lại cho mình nửa cái máu và chỉ có key player bây giờ đang làm cho Himat. Sology liên tục bị bào máu. Quá khó chịu dành cho vị trí em Xoài. Góc đứng của Xoài đang bị đối phương khai thác vào. Và trong đó Tần Vũ thì vẫn đang ôm bụng lại là những quả hết được dã vào đến từ bên phía team Phần Lan. Phần Lan là có cho mình cánh thi đấu là quá đẹp đi. Cùng với Argentina họ đem về cho cái điểm kill đến từ bên phía team Brazil. Nhưng vũ công Samba bắt đầu để mất người rồi. Trước đó vị trí anh chàng Di qua cần và sau đó Tần Vũ đã bị confirm bởi Setsuna.
Nào ui, quả nét này nó nổ đến vị trí của Sology. Và Setsuna là người có được điểm knockout. Chúng ta chỉ còn lại một mình Himat thôi. Cơ hội nào đây? Sau cái góc 11 giờ này nó lại hot đến vậy nhỉ? Ukraine đã tới chơi. Phần Lan cũng đang giao tranh. Và Himat bây giờ game quá nhiều tiếng Himat.
Và bắn sau lưng quá hay. Trừ 99 với trong Himat. Chúng ta có cho mình thêm một điểm kill nữa trước khi đội hình bên phía team Phần Lan nằm xuống tất cả 4 người. Rất bất ngờ trong pha vừa rồi tình huống lần trong làn smoke và đẩy ra được bắn free shot sau lưng với Himat. Và chỉ cần có vậy thôi cũng là ổn rồi, bởi vì game này là một game đấu không hề dễ dàng một chút nào cả. Chúng ta có 4 điểm kill và dừng lại vị trí top 14 đến đội hình bên phía team Việt Nam. Và sau đó là Argentina ở vị trí top 13.
thật sự là khó cho đội tuyển Việt Nam của chúng ta ở trong pha thi đấu vừa rồi. Một góc 11 giờ mà có đến 5 đội tuyển đến đây. Muốn dây máu ăn phần quá kinh khủng nào.
Không né
Scapi của Thái Lan, anh ta đang bò lên rất gần với Đan Mạch và đó là Scapi. Top 12 cho Đan Mạch.
Vâng, họ vừa húp về cho mình đó là rất nhiều điểm kill đến từ đội hình bên phía team Thái Lan. Đó là 4 điểm kill gọn gàng dành cho bên phía team Thái Lan sau khi quét đi đội hình Đan Mạch rồi. Trung Quốc vẫn đang còn đó và Trung Quốc còn có trong một điểm kill nữa cơ. Khi mà Spaceman vừa confirm thành công vị trí anh chàng đó là Code Marco đến Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ. Trong đó pha thi đấu này thì đội hình bên phía team Đức sẽ có cho mình khu vực căn nhà vệ sinh mà thôi. Một căn nhà vệ sinh tôi đánh giá rằng đang rất đắt giá ở thời điểm hiện tại. Mỹ đang rất cố gắng nhưng Mỹ cũng đang đội tuyển ở phía bên ngoài. Họ sẽ gặp rất nhiều khó khăn đây, nhưng rút tút vừa ăn cho mình một tiếng sấy đến từ vị trí anh chàng đó là Medbay của Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ.
Nào, Ukraine thì họ đang gặp khá những cái trở ngại đến từ CJ18 của Philippines. Philippines cũng chỉ có lại 2 người mà thôi. Nhưng CJ18 đang bị quây bởi các thành viên của Ukraine. Rồi lao lên rồi Hakatori nhìn thấy rồi. Mà bất kỳ thứ gì lại xuất hiện trước Hakatori nó đều là một thứ rất là kinh khủng. Nhưng Hakatori đâm xuống bởi CJ18, Justin và Itquid đã ra đi. Ngay lập tức Ferrit lên tiếng và CJ18 phải nằm, sẽ cứu lại được Hakatori thôi.
Vâng, quả nét vừa rồi làm đôi đội hình bên phía team đó là Mỹ, nhưng mà trả vào đội hình bên phía team tuyển thủ Đức về chạy như là vịt vậy, không thể né nổi quả nét đối phương. Rất may Kickstart đã hết ở trong pha này rồi và cũng kịp thời đem về cho mình điểm kill đến từ phía Itquid. Trong đó rút tút thì đang bị knock out, nhưng cánh thi đấu này có vẻ như sẽ an toàn thôi, có thể cứu lại người đến từ đội hình bên phía team Đức. Trong đó thì ở đây Mỹ họ đang rất phải cố gắng khi đằng sau lưng còn đang có đội hình bên phía team Hàn Quốc. Và với đội hình bên phía team Ukraine họ đã quay trở lại với cả 3 người rồi, chỉ mất cái tên Boostic từ trước là thôi. Philippines vẫn đang có tanh bo và pha thiếu này hãy cùng xem là Alinbot một quả đế trả ra và sẽ là thùng sấy luôn đến Alinbot mà thôi. Pha này có lẽ sẽ là một điểm kill và đây là thùng sấy, đối phương vẫn đang né được. Ôi, Alinbot ra đi bởi Kickstart, trời đất à, pha sấy sau lưng cực kỳ mù mắt đến từ phía Alinbot.
Ôi, một pha bỏ lỡ đến từ vị trí của Alinbot. Nhưng tại sao đội hình của Philippines họ lại cách xa nhau đến thế nhỉ? Góc 1 giờ là Alinbot, nhưng mà người đồng đội là CJ18 thì ở tận góc 11 giờ. Không một ai có thể hỗ trợ cho người đồng đội cả. Ukraine thì đang muốn đâm thẳng vào khu vòng bo và đang đâm thẳng vào Batulin, người sống cuối cùng team neutral. Lúc nãy thì Batulin cũng là người knock out đi vị trí Favorite.
Ui, Batulin
nằm kỹ lắm.
Vâng, đây là một cái thi đấu mà có lẽ cũng rất khó để check ra. Một bụi cỏ cực kỳ to trước mặt đội hình bên phía team Ukraine. Và bây giờ thì ở trung tâm vòng bo lại là bộ đôi bên phía team Trung Quốc. Rất bất ngờ đúng không? Họ lại đang là người ở gần với trung tâm vòng bo nhất. Và với vòng bo mới này thì Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ đang đội tuyển đem về cho mình lợi thế. Những đội tuyển phải đi bo bây giờ sẽ kể đến đội hình team Thái Lan, cùng với đó đội hình bên phía team Ukraine.
Những cái tên chúng ta vừa nhắc thì họ cũng chỉ còn có 2 người thôi.
Chính xác.
Cái việc giữ những vị trí đẹp trong vòng bo này sẽ rất khó khăn.
Hiện tại đội tuyển đang có đầy đủ cho mình lượng nhân sự, đó chính là đội hình bên phía team Hàn Quốc.
Vâng, đây là quãng đường đi bo của các đội tuyển được tái hiện bởi Captain AI.
Xác, rất xịn sò đấy các bạn ạ. Và chúng ta nhìn thấy được cái hướng bắn của tuyển thủ ta đang xả sát thương vào.
Đúng.
Đó là nhắm về ai? Vâng, Thái Lan đang nhắm vào Hàn Quốc, Hàn Quốc thì nhắm vào các tên bên phía team Mỹ thì phải. Và phía này thì Ukraine họ không biết rằng mình cũng đang có thêm một người nữa ở rất gần, một kẻ địch mang tên Batulin của neutral. Liệu rằng bên phía team Ukraine có thể kịp tìm ra anh chàng này không đây?
Hoàn toàn có thể là cái gai đâm thẳng vào chân của các thành viên bên phía team Ukraine.
Thế căn nhà vệ sinh vẫn đang khá ổn dành cho Đức. Và với đội hình bên phía team Đức họ sẽ va thẳng với bên phía team Mỹ mà thôi. Từ nãy đến giờ vẫn là như vậy. Thì đáng tiếc thay Mỹ họ đang hết đồ thì phải. Nhưng đây rồi, Kickstart có trong một quả nết, cùng với đó 2 quả flash, cũng là thêm một nết nữa đến từ vị trí anh chàng Swimzy.
Thấy hết rồi. Kickstart thấy hết rồi. Có thể quả nết duy nhất trong tay của Kickstart sẽ là thứ vũ khí mà làm cho đội tuyển Đức phải ôm hận. Ukraine họ sẽ phải tìm một hướng đâm thẳng vào vòng bo thôi. Đang đâm thẳng vào khu vực của bên phía Vương quốc Anh. Drive-by nhìn thấy đối phương rồi và Deepfake đang hơi mất thời gian. Hạ cũng đi được một người, Deepfake cũng đã phải đâm xuống bởi Michael. Lợi thế nó vẫn đang dành cho Ukraine khi họ đã có nhiều người hơn. Quả lửa trả vào thôi xong. Tì Michael, quả lửa này chưa
tới, quả lửa chưa tới nhưng quả nét thì có nha. Và bây giờ Tí chạy đi đâu đấy, không chạy nổi đến từ Bích Lệ. Điểm kêu gọi đến Fury và cũng chỉ còn lại một cái tên Ferit mà thôi. Vâng, trốn trong xe để hồi máu luôn. Một pha tinh thần thép đến từ Ferit. Khi mà đại diện Thái Lan đã tới, nhưng họ biết rằng Ferit ở đâu đó ở xung quanh kia thôi và liên tục trái quả hết vào thôi, xong quả hết cầm xe. Ferit lộ diện luôn rồi, nhảy vào xe và sau đó lại đổi sang xe đấu khác và Ferit vẫn chưa nằm xuống ở trong pha thiếu này. Vâng, có vẻ Thái Lan họ đã bỏ qua rồi khi mà phía này Hàn Quốc đang tới, nhưng cuối cùng quả nét đến từ Batulin lại kết thúc đi Ferit đã rất bất ngờ, và đó sẽ là top 9 của tên Ukraine, top 8 là neutral mà thôi.
Top 9 nhưng nó là một game thi đấu 9 kill cho Ukraine, vẫn là một phong độ lên điểm rất căng đến từ Hakatori và những người đồng đội. Tuy nhiên thì bây giờ mới là những vị trí sẽ có được cho mình những cái điểm hạng. Batulin cũng đã kéo được một điểm hạng cho team neutral rồi. Đội tuyển Đức còn 3 người, Brazil còn 1 người, và chúng ta nhìn thấy cái người sống cuối cùng Brazil này đã sống rất lâu rồi. Thì cuối cùng thì Sparking cũng không thể làm gì hơn kéo thêm được một điểm hạng cho bên phía Brazil, cũng là một sự cố gắng của Sparking rồi. Một game thi đấu top 7 với 3 điểm kill mang về 4 điểm cho những chàng trai đến từ Nam Mỹ.
Vâng, với đội bên team Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ họ đang có cho mình khu vực tương đối tạm ổn, nhưng có lẽ sẽ cần nhiều hơn thôi khi vòng ball tiếp theo đã loại họ ra khỏi cuộc chơi rồi. Phải nói giờ Trung Quốc đang lợi thế nhất các bạn ạ. Trung Quốc có cho mình tảng đá để back up, còn đào cho mình thêm một cái hố nữa cơ, rất đẹp với Trung Quốc.
Vấn đề là Hàn Quốc họ chiếm được phải 25% của vòng ball ở góc 5 giờ và họ còn đầy đủ 4 người.
Hãy nhìn Đức, hãy nhìn Mỹ, hãy nhìn Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ mà xem, bắt đầu vào nhau luôn rồi. Và siêu là knock out với rút tút. Đây lần tiếp theo rút tút đã phải là ôm bụng. Có lẽ rút tút sẽ ra đi mà thôi, khi những người đồng đội như là Pen hay là Ares đã không thể di chuyển ở trong pha thiếu này. Chỉ là những cái hố biết nói thôi. Rút tút sẽ nằm ở đó và cứ thế máu tụt dần. Và khó nhất bây giờ sẽ là công cuộc vào bo đến từ đội hình với team Mỹ. Team Mỹ tầm này vào bo tôi nghĩ rằng sẽ là rất khó khăn. Khả năng cao họ sẽ battle luôn ở ngôi vị top 6.
Khó để cho team Mỹ có thể di chuyển vào vòng bo mặc dù là họ còn khá đông nhân sự. Tuy nhiên thì cái đường vào bo bây giờ đang bị bịt kín rồi. Thậm chí là cả team Hàn Quốc họ có thể nhìn lên cái góc trên để bắn thẳng vào team Mỹ, nhưng bây giờ Streamzy và Perdicut thì đều nằm và chỉ đâu đó khoảng 5 giây thôi. Đường vào bo của bên phía team Mỹ mất hoàn toàn, họ chết sạch vào top 6 cho Perdicut và những người đồng đội.
Một pha vừa rồi sấy xong thì chúng ta nhìn lại vị trí của anh chàng đến từ đội hình bên phía team Đức còn lại đúng một máu đó ở vị trí của Pen. Và bây giờ thì quay trở lại thôi. Tiếp tục là câu chuyện để vào vòng bo. Lượt này sẽ đến từ các team Đức. Vâng, Flash búp vào là tốt đấy, nhưng Ares không bắt được đối phương. Và Ares nằm xuống bởi cái tên Shula. Một cánh thi đấu vẫn đang rất khó chịu đội bên phía team Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ. Và Đức chỉ còn lại một mình cái tên Pen. Pen làm gì ở trong pha đây? Pen sới, Pen knock out được một rồi. Nhưng quả nét của Shula kết thúc đi Pen. Và đó top 5 gọi tên đội team Đức. Và bây giờ Trung Quốc bắt đầu gặp khó khăn rồi. Quá nhiều trả vào. Và Trung Quốc họ đi ngay chỉ sau một tấn công đến đội bên phía team Hàn Quốc. Hàn Quốc có cho mình quá nhiều lợi thế ở trong pha thiếu này. 4v3v1. Nhưng mà Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ cũng chỉ còn lại đúng một người mà thôi.
Hàn Quốc họ đã đẩy cho đối phương ra hết rìa bo rồi. Và đó Tiger lấy được cho mình cái mạng của Mết 7. Top 3 cho Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ. 4 thành viên bên phía của Hàn Quốc họ chớp thời cơ để đẩy lên và không cho Thái Lan có thêm phạm vi để di chuyển nữa. Scapi có pha sấy rất tốt để câu thêm thời gian, đẩy các thành viên bên phía của Hàn Quốc phải chậm lại ở trong cái pha muốn công lên này.
Vâng, Sông Giang là người bị xây yếu trong tình huống bắn vừa rồi, và Thái Lan liệu rằng có thể vượt qua đội hình team Hàn Quốc hay không đây, khi mà diện tích vòng bo bây giờ vòng bo 7 đội hình team Hàn Quốc đang kiểm soát là rất tốt, sẽ là cực kỳ khó khăn cho cái đội tuyển Thái Lan. Đội thật sự là không còn nhiều. Dành cho Thái Lan bây giờ họ sẽ phải vào bo khi tất cả đồng đội, tất cả tuyển thủ bên phía team Thái đều đã out bo rồi. Trong khi đó thì với đội hình bên phía team Hàn Quốc, cánh thi đấu của Hàn Quốc là quá đẹp. Heather hay Gilmin đều đang giữ tình huống ở ngoài vòng bo để có thể có cho mình nhiều tầm nhìn nhất về phía đội hình bên team Thái Lan. Nhưng phải nói rằng đây vẫn là một game thi đấu rất ổn. Thái đã cầm về cho mình đến tận 7 điểm. Và cùng với đó đang ở trong ngôi vị, có thể đem về cho một cái top 1. Nhưng có vẻ như là hơi khó. Họ đang vượt lên, họ đang đứng đầu bảng xếp hạng bây giờ với 31 điểm rồi. Với Hàn Quốc cũng có thể đuổi kịp ngay Thái Lan thôi nếu đem về cho mình thêm điểm kill cùng với đó cái top 1 ở trong bản đồ thiếu tiêu này.
Rất nhiều nết dã vào vị trí của Sông Giang, nhưng tốn 2 quả nết không mang về được một điều gì cả. Quá phí những cái lượng utility nào. Nết của đối phương trả vào thì nó rất chính xác. Scapi còn có 1 chấm máu thôi.
Hồi máu có kịp không đây?
Mất thời gian để có thể hồi lại lượng máu.
Cảm giác máu hồi không kịp với những quả nết tiếp theo lại dã sang đến team Hàn Quốc. Và nhìn mà xem, Heaven làm 2 ở trong pha chính xác là Heaven và Heather thì đúng hơn. Và cuối cùng cũng chỉ lại còn lại một người mà tôi là Kit, và Kit bắn vào xe bọc thép thì là no hope Kit ơi. Và đối phương đang di chuyển tới sẽ là 3 điểm cứu tôi. Nhưng Kit nói không, Kit từ xa với quả nết của mình cái top 1 gọi tên đội hình với team Hàn Quốc.
Một game thi đấu mà Chúng ta đã không nhìn thấy Hàn Quốc quá nhiều ở khoảng thời gian giữa trận. Nhưng chỉ đến khi mà vòng bo phase 5, phase 6 bắt đầu thu vào, chúng ta mới thấy được là cái lợi thế mặt địa hình dành cho Hàn Quốc nó tốt như thế nào. Và đúng là ở Tego thì Hàn Quốc vẫn chơi cực kỳ tốt, kể cả ở cấp câu lạc bộ hay là cấp đội tuyển quốc gia như thế này.
Thì chúc mừng Hàn Quốc cái top 1 vừa rồi. Và phải nói rằng đến cái vòng bo phase cuối tôi đánh với team Hàn Quốc còn có cho mình quá nhiều quả nét đi. Và chưa kể là còn một xe bọc thép nữa, đúng không? Một xe bọc thép khiến cho Kid gần như là bất lực ở trong pha điều đấy rồi, chỉ biết rút chốt lên và ngẩng vào lên trời thôi.
Nhìn thấy tự nhiên là hai người đồng đội của mình nằm xuống hết. Đối phương lại còn có cả một chiếc xe bọc thép chưa thấy có tí khói nào cả, thì không có cơ hội nào để có thể làm được. Và pha quyên sinh vừa rồi cũng giảm đi một điểm kill team Hàn Quốc. Và có lẽ là cái số điểm của Hàn Quốc cùng với cả bên phía team Thái Lan bây giờ nó đã ngang bằng nhau rồi. Nếu như mình nhớ không nhầm thì cộng vào là nó ngang bằng nhau.
Tính ra Sông Giang đang ốm mà bắn vẫn rất là bay bổng, đúng không ạ? Xin chúc mừng đại diện Hàn Quốc và cái top 1 của chúng ta cùng nhau xem lại những highlight đã diễn ra ở trong bản đồ thiếu thứ 3, bản đồ thiếu Tiago. Rồi chúng ta cùng nhau điểm lại những thông số đã diễn ra ở trong bản đồ thiếu Tiago vừa rồi, bản đồ thi đấu mà của người Hàn và cũng dành cho những người Hàn, đúng không ạ? Cái top 1 đến từ đội tuyển Hàn Quốc.
Có thể nói là ở vòng bo như vậy thì cánh 3 giờ là một cánh vô cùng thuận lợi để cho các đội tuyển từ góc đó như Hàn Quốc, như Thái Lan có thể xuất phát ra với một
aside from, you know, like some delays here and there, these teams are still kind of finding their footing about how they want to approach this lobby in particular, Matrim, because, you know, you're watching, some very cautious movement, and also, honestly, some just crashes into one another out of nowhere. We're watching as, like, the kill feed lights up in Circle 5, and there's no way the observers can catch it all, because it's just going balls to the wall.
Well, a big part of PUBG is understanding how the teams move next to you, you know, kind of what the meta, you know, like everybody knows how Twisted moves. You kind of have an idea on how anyone's legend's going to move. But whenever you break all of those players apart, kind of mix them in, you don't know what flavor of each team you're going to get, right? Whenever you look at USA, is it going to be more of the Liquid side, or is it going to be more of the Falcon side? Or it could just change gears in the middle of a match. This leads to everybody having a little bit of hesitation until they get an idea on how each team wants to play, and then specifically on how each team's going to move, because that's the factor that is throwing everybody off.
It's not the biggest win for Korea, is 16 points, but they find themselves in joint first place with 3 teams effectively. So that is Korea, Thailand, and Brazil at 31 points apiece. Of course, technically placement was the tiebreaker, etc. And then technically it's the last game's performance, so technically they're in number 1. But you get my meaning with just 3 games down. As Ukraine 29 points here. After that, I will say Turkey once again here, Mark, right? Like find themselves a central spot. Do you also agree, as we take a look at the man of the match, which will be Schiller, do you think that they were separated for too long, or is it just hard terrain to play? What do you think?
It's hard for them to get back, but they are separated, but they're confident to play separated as well. So they're causing, as I said in the pre-show, felt long ago, that actually they can be a bit of a disruptor. The dark horses, I think they were announced in on. And I think we're seeing that. We saw it in the last map. They're causing problems for teams, and they weren't going though. On that third party, they're always in this sort of off angle that someone wasn't ready, and they're consistently being there. I like what we're seeing from them. As I said, I struggle with them when I was looking at my fantasy. Do I keep them in? They're done well. Do I not? Are they going to be able to hold their own in this level of lobby? Well, I think after 3 matches, you can argue to say Turkey's here to stay.
Yeah, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. I had similar conflict within me when I was looking through it, right? Because, yes, an amazing day number 1 on the survival stage. Day 2 was a bit wishy-washy, not like what I would really like to see as a follow-up for that day number 1. But anyway,
but for the
we
price,
look across.
The price,
Please?
they're so good for their price. That was the thing that got me. They were so cheap, I was like, nah, I've got to get them for this.
Yeah, but do you know who else was good for the price that was kind of similar? Brazil, right? Like, you could,
I got them both.
There was a, yeah, well, okay, fair play then. All right, I'll shut up.
There's a reason that my roster might have had an extra $180,000 sitting around. It just felt like the right way to go.
Yeah, that was an amazing smackdown. Thank you very much, Matthew. It was like, sit down, Kalari. Slam, bang.
Go back to talking about the United Kingdom.
Yeah, who's on my fantasy roster and maybe they're not doing so well, Gibson. Yeah.
Oh, well, look, I was doing okay. It's just Germany's letting me down. I've got, obviously, Ukraine, because everybody does. Like, I don't sound like a big brain saying that. But I went for Brazil too, and it came down to looking back historically. Like, them and Argentina, I think, combined have the most wins in PNC as we look at a chicken that these teams, of course, are hoping to get. That really threw me off, by the way, just that chicken stream. But I'm impressed. Even Brazil, right? They won that fight with Argentina, and Sparking managed. I know that you're in a bad spot, but he got an extra point out of that game by just surviving inside the blue. So when you're having a bad game, it's about maximizing your points still. And I think Brazil did a good job of that time around.
Yeah, I agree. Turkey here is just there waiting for the next game, game number 4. I think the gloves are off now. Like, yeah, exactly. The balaclavas are on, the gloves are off. Wait, fancy. His team. Ukraine.
He went UK.
Brazil.
Oh,
Korea.
that's pretty good.
He's got my team. He's got my team, except I went for Germany instead of UK.
It's not all about you. Yeah, clearly the gloves are off. Everyone's gone loony now and loopy. So it's going to be an interesting way to end out day number 1, that's for sure.
Only 2 more games to go.
Yeah. That is true. How deep are we into the broadcast now?
Do you think, James, do you think Turkey will hold on to the positioning, or do you think these teams will start to learn the changes of the map and the zone shifts and how fast these early games have been? Can they thrive in the chaos, or are they going to fade away?
Thanks for asking me a question. I like that. That's fun. No, I don't believe so. Even though, of course, I do empathize with EMEA as a whole. I'm just still not fully convinced by consistency from Turkey yet, right? Like, and that comes from like the PGS performances and even regionally as well. They've clearly been able to gel very nicely so far here at PNC. But I think as the days go on, I think some of these insane rosters will eventually coagulate and push a team like this down. Do you agree here, Gibson? No?
I don't know. It's PNC's just different though, right? Like, you look at when UK got a first and a second back-to-back years, the players weren't necessarily dominating the global stage at that time. And even last year, there's people disappointed maybe with how some of the performances from the players outside of PNC from Vietnam were. So I'm not quite sure. Like, I shared my concerns about Turkey with you, but even if you look at it, they're still having good days. It's not as if day 1 they were way up here and day 2 they were there. Their day 2 was still pretty high as far as the floor is concerned.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's not been bad for them at all. And I think they could be on a lot more people's fantasy teams tomorrow.
I like it. I want disagreement with each other on these desks, all right? So more of that, please, boys. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a short break and take a look in with Neutral, who's going to play some charades, I imagine, with Bella.
Pizza.
Hello everyone, welcome to a sit-down game time with Bella, and today is Team Neutral. Hello guys. Hello. Today we will be playing a game of charades. So you have to pick one teammate to be the charader. Who do you want to pick?
A doozy.
A doozy?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, currently, the one with the most answers is Team USA.
Oh.
They hold the record of 8. Can you win Team USA?
No.
No? Okay, let's find out. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, parfüm. Vodka. Beer.
Oh, Batu's killing it.
Cowboy. Skip.
Skip? Okay. They keep challenging you.
Chicken. Pizza. Sausage.
Okay. You kind of look like one.
Dancer. Rapper. Singer.
Skip.
Skip.
Surfer.
I think that's a pretty good description. Oh, let's see how many you got correct. I think you actually did pretty good. You're good at this.
He's
6. Oh no, it's because we skipped a couple.
I skipped most, like 2.
Aw, well, you now hold the second place. So, all right, well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Bye.
안녕하세요. Goodbye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a sit-down business talk time with Bella and Team Norway. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What makes your country, your team, strong at this year's PNC?
I think we had a lot of good preparations. That's what makes us really ready for this tournament.
Can you elaborate on that, James? What kind of prep work did you guys do?
We went over our flight tickets, made sure that we went to the right country.
All right, well, it's time to get to game number 4. It will be Rondo on the way. Gibson and Mark, take it away.
Thanks, James, for that insightful as we get into this map. Mark, we are ready to go to Rondo to really get towards that second half of day number 1 here at PNC. And just say you and I, things are looking pretty good at the minute for the way things are going.
They are. I've been missing. I want to see the end of that VT production. Anyway, we're paused that for a moment.
So we had to cut it.
Yeah. The plane set sail. Here we go. It is going to be obviously our map number 4 for day number 1, and we are coming in from the southeast out towards the west central, very much on the south side of this flight path though. And these teams, there actually might be a couple of clashes.
Yeah, there might just be, and I think one that we're really interested to see is what happens in and around Test Track. Remember yesterday we had, or sorry, 2 days ago, we had that fight where Neutral were under pressure. You saw pressure coming in from Denmark, so be curious to see what actually happens over by Test Track. But for the moment, let's look at Korea. They won the last map, Mark. They did a great job. I think the numbers just told for them in the end, though.
Look, that's a confidence boost, right? You can get a win like that on home soil, and it did feel controlled. As the guy said, it felt controlled as they sort of worked their way up. As a result, they close out the game, and they close it out in style. So the only thing for me, the only takeaway is to try and stop Ukraine getting so many kills. There's his own Gibson. It is late. It is very much on that sort of west side. And Germany, your fantasy pick, is right in the middle.
Yeah, they're not going too well at the minute. But hey, they got a nice wipe against USA in the last map. But the thing for me is, remember, we don't have the land ratio anymore. So this circle could progressively keep going towards the west and get worse and worse and worse as the time progresses. What about China, though?
And better. What are you talking about?
Worse for the players. You remember, what's good for the viewers is not always what's good for the players. But
I missed that.
I want to talk about China, right? We saw them on the screen for a second. They were really expensive in fantasy. I think they were like the 3rd or 4th most expensive team. They're not going well. 8 points across 3 maps, Mark, and it doesn't even seem like they've been in many gunfights.
No. But you got to remember who's on that team, right? It's an all-star 17 with Spaceman and 4am on there as well. So, yes, they're not firing on cylinders, but I still think the teams that haven't played the survival stage, they are clearly still not used to the way the zone shifts. And when you get put out on rotation like this, because you haven't descended towards the zone, unfortunately, you do fall.
You know what's really funny to me? We always joke about the fact that Liquid have like zone Teflon, like the zone just does not go anywhere near them. They've decided to go for the Liquid drops here, Team USA, and wouldn't you know, over by Mayram, which I suppose isn't exactly stadium, they're still as far away from the circle as any other team in the lobby.
I still think USA are playing well. I know they're chasing circle, but look at Shrimsy in that last game. The ability to kind of just seat swap and then turn around and get AJ, get number points, obviously for the team. I think as well, I think again, it's a team for me that will come to form the more games that we play. And it's that 50-50 split. 50% of the team plays a certain way. 50% obviously play a complete different way. So once they find that synergy, and it's not like these guys are not playing together. Cowboy's obviously the entry, but he's an outstanding gunner. He's just not firing all cylinders for me. It won't be long before we see him in the kill feed.
There's a reason why Liquid picked him up, and I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's kind of the next one up in the Americas, and I think we're yet to see the best of him. And I think that we will see it before the weekend is over, as we just take a look at this barrage of nades that finished out that final map. And look, to be honest, with the Rocks, I don't really think there was any way Thailand could win this one, Mark, from that position.
No. And obviously, Korea had the BRDM, they had the control, and obviously when the zone shifted back on phase 8, they had that circle dot, so it was just a matter of time. So yeah, we've got a chance to have a look back at that game. Yeah, a little bit, again, I don't want to pick on your team, but for Team Germany, that is a home circle for them. Like, they drop on the army base, they know how to play the hills really well. I felt, yes, they picked up some kills, but I would have thought they might have got a little bit later into that game, maybe into the first, second, as we do see them like that sort of style of game.
Well, they've got another opportunity to run it back. Remember, they dropped in Zhaotin, and that's exactly where the circle went. I think the big problem for them is the fact that they wanted to go further west, but the UK have already taken that spot away. And in a circle like this, Mark, playing right on the western periphery of the map is a really good thing to do, because it means you're not going to get flanked. You only really have to focus inwards towards the circle without any real chance of a backfill. So I really like the move that the UK have made.
Yeah, and look, they are very aware that very much from their position out more towards the west is open terrain. So any team that does try to rotate round is going to cause some issues for them. As we look at Kisto, as the 2026 record champion, MVP and champion, as they are the only team so far to go back-to-back on PGS. And then this is why this team excites me. This is why I risked it when it came down to fantasy, because you look at this, and again, like you say, it's a split roster, right? But he's an all-star, Gibson, an absolute all-star.
You risked it by going for Thailand, the team with players who've dominated the international scene this year. So
I'm the only one. Well, you guys
that's a bold strategy. I couldn't afford them. They were too expensive. I went for the most expensive team, but I just think it was a risk, you know. So we watch
it's Thailand, a risk in my back pocket, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but I think for Thailand, they're another one of those regions where it's just so hard to pick the best four, because there's so many talented players in that region. And they could be maybe in trouble right now, as Kiss is going to start slowing down. CJ on the other side of the hill. He's a bad idea in mind for Kiss right now.
Why is he slowing down? He's storing the vehicle. Do you know there's someone here? He must have had the car, maybe? Or no, I suppose he's just waiting for the rest of the team to catch up. And he's waiting. He doesn't have to wait for too long. CJ comes up and exposes his position. He's now got to try and pop a smoke, because Thailand, they want to try and find the angles of him. He spins around. He gets him as well. Tico will fall.
Oh my God, great shots. I was about to say all you had to do, CJ, was shoot the damn card, but eventually he got it done. DraftKing with a bridge cap. Pipa will get one. Pipa gets a second. No. And a third's going to fall as Menaby goes down at the hands of Capitan. That is a much better trap set, in Argentina picking up a bunch of points.
Oh, that's horrible for Turkey as well, because that's the final. Sheila's the only one remaining, and he's already gone. He's rotating. They had options. They picked the wrong one. Unfortunately for them, they fall in the hands of Argentina. Back towards Thailand, though. And they're trying defensive. They lost the player, but now that's trying. Ayak will come up. There's actually the grenade that puts Melmoth down.
Yeah, and Aya's going to confirm that one out as well. So for Thailand, this is tough. And if you're Philippines, get rid of those blue chips, or at least guard them for a little while, because Thailand will want to try get them back a little while later with the blue zone starting to close, and Alec is just hunting. He wants it, and there might even be a crash course with Finland here.
Well, we know Finland likes to normally take a few fights early. We know Turkey's not going to be able to come back from this one, as the blue chips, as you can see in the bottom right of your corner of your screen, is now going to be descended. So they have to come back, and Turkey only as a solo now. Complete reset for that team.
Yeah, and they're looking at Thailand as well. Just the two players, Scappy and Kiss, they'll need to work together, as Sololzi is going to drive directly in towards Sparking. Sparking hits a headshot, but it ain't enough to get the job done. C-swap, Sparking's forced into cover. Vietnam might take this fight unless Sparking can get a knock.
Yeah, he gets an opening. He doesn't quite get the opening. He comes from the other side. BL, not just one, but gets the second down as well. So they find some early points. Vietnam, BRDM is coming all the way around. Needs to try and isolate him, and he gets the opportunity now to get a med on. You can't knock that car off the road.
They're going to try anyway. BL with the M249s thinking, I have enough rounds to cause a problem for this BRDM. So he keeps spraying it down, jumping out as Delwyn. Delwyn wins it, but Kraken had the cover.
Oh my God, talk about Kraken helping out there. There was a world that he got the knock, got back in and disappeared, potentially. Brazil, BRDM is now gone. Gets the opportunity now to get the res on. And now look at this, Germany coming on that bottom side of the screen. They're going to go for the third party. And the zone goes west. One more time, Gibson.
Oh my word, it's exactly what I thought it might do. Because the way the zones have gone as Ares gets back inside the Pika bus. And the Indo ain't going to land. Ares down to 1 HP. Sparking's only got 30 rounds left as well here, Mark.
Handbrake! Ares forgot to stop the Pico bus. Sparking. He does get the opportunity, gets the call. Ares goes down. Brazil has the higher ground for Germany. They did part leave the town, but unfortunately for them, they got divided in two. So justice remains in Jiaoting. It's Chris further afield and Payne's even further towards the west.
Yeah, and Chris is going to drive directly in towards the rotate of South Korea as well. So he might be best to just turn tail and rejoin Payne's over at the other side of the map as we keep an eye on these rotates that are happening right now. And Argentina, Mark, they've got themselves a nice pocket of space in that southern side.
I don't want to jinx it. This is a UK win. I feel it. I'm going to embed the win. Their positioning has been so critical, and actually this time they've collapsed up. Critical from the other side. They've stayed as a split, and that's caused them to be exposed. Let's see if they can hold on, though. But for Indonesia, they're looking to try and climb their hill out in the west, and they just get the tail end of China as they retreat down to the south.
Yeah, Xiaowu just going to move into that compound alongside Spaceman, and they'll be the nightmare neighbours for the Team UK for quite a while now as these two teams hold centre circle compounds. Algenbots is back in the action now as he'll go look for some loot, and this is the problem with coming in a circle like this. There's not a lot of compounds that he can actually land in to try get some loot, so be a scout for the team. You know, try and stay in the air as long as you can and let your team know what's happening elsewhere.
I think that's all he can play at the moment. Keep going south. He's seen the Argentina cars coming underneath him as well, so you know roughly where they are. Sheila's obviously found somewhere to hide. Well, the rest of these teams now, it's nice to see Finland haven't got involved in an early hot drop fight and engaging as they find themselves now in zone.
Yeah, but they're still going, where are the South American teams? Where can I find a LATAM or America's team that I can go head to head with at this point? And look, they're sitting on 3 points. It's not been a good start for them at all, but I suppose if they want any consolation, Mark, it was the same on day one of survival stage. They were virtually non-existent and then finally started to improve as the days went on.
We have to wait and see. The rest will fall down towards zone. Struggling now trying to get in. The rest of these teams are now stacking up on that sort of western line. So we see Denmark now rolling in. Argentina already here. So they're going to come over the hill. They see their cars. That will force them to divert. But for Argentina, it forces them to try and take pressure. They turn their cars round and turn Denmark back the other way.
Yeah, but this hill line that Argentina find themselves on is actually not the worst place in the world. The problem they have is just Peepa's or Emmy spots better. A little bit further north in a compound with a few dips around it. Like, you can move up to where Emmy's playing and really play for the late game. And here we go, Mark. How bad is it going to be?
West. No, I'll take that. They're still going west. It goes north. Holds on to a lot of unplayable terrain still for our team. United Kingdom, they're okay. Korea have to turn back around. Germany do time back up, and neutral find themselves also in a good spot.
Yeah, I thought for a second that Korea were about to go head first in towards Germany, but they turned back and they elect to play the edge of the zone for now. Brazil holding the edge, but for Great Britain, for UK and China, it is such a good circle. They've got so much control over everything that's happening. The big issue they might have is there's a lot of teams that might look at that compound and be very envious of it.
Yeah, I agree. But I think China's compound will be exposed first. More teams working their way in. Ukraine, just to keep you guys up to date, they are working their way on the southwest now as they've gone for a long rotation, but they've not had the meds. They've actually lost 2 of their players trying to get in. Still more to come. Sheila, though, doesn't keep his head down as the shots do rain. Doesn't get the knock, doesn't get the opening with a 5-5.
Yeah, Sheila, of course, just been phenomenal over the course of this PNC. His stat lines are insane, and he'll just dip back in, and I think Denmark... They know exactly where he is. They know it's a solo. Sheila's going to toss the nade one direction, take the fight the other. That's good. Oh, that was almost so good. Had the nade been a bit better. But Turkey, they're eliminated, and Denmark they'll be able to take up that little pit for now.
I'm surprised he actually popped out the hole to take the shots. I think he could have stayed hidden. I think Denmark didn't know he was there. Maybe played by, but yeah, potentially. If they went past it, I think they would have spotted up. It's really hard to spot those trenches. that especially when you're rotating past in one dome.
Sparking as well with an interesting loadout. He's got the M16, the discount DMR, I used to always call it, as his second weapon in reserve. And the ammo counts for Brazil not looking great either, Mark. Like, they might be relying on kills and crates to get their ammo because they don't have enough for multiple fights right now.
And for Ukraine, we do find one vehicle enters into the south side of the zone, but the Philippines doing this at the same time, the same rotation path, so they are now down to a solo, relying on that sort of blue chip to be recalled and come back. So they are playing for the late game, but come back to your point of where do they land if they do get this blue chip back, because there's no more compounds. They've already taken, and most of the zone is open terrain.
It's just zone. Try find a rock or something you can hide behind maybe for some of these teams, as Kiss will sit inside the blue. He spots out Himas. He'll run back in, and come on, Kiss, one more shot will do it. He doesn't quite get what he needs, and that'll allow Himas to get the first aid off as the Philippines take the aerial route as they go up onto the hills by Denmark.
They do go on the hills by Denmark. They've got the recall coming down above them as well, so you can get information from a UAV, but Denmark taking their shots first. Gustav Ketzer, they're opening up, and Philippines falling.
Yeah, blue zone need there as well, hold back the push, but that's just a 2 versus 2 for now. As CJ will step inside the smoke, looks down towards the Blanco, but he takes a big spray from Gustav, who's just got Algin bots left to deal with. Now Algin looks like he's got the nade at the ready to throw on down as he smokes off one direction, but here come Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina will sweep by. Finland sweep unpassed as well. They go very much towards that west zone, just down towards the southwest corner. Argentina, aggressive stance, take the high ground, now trying to farm the kills.
Yeah, but Finland are coming this way. Ukraine aren't too far away either. It's just chaos as Emmy sprays down towards the Ukrainian player who's just come back in. And Bustik will find the kill on the Tigger. So Thailand getting torn apart now. Pipa is going to shoot down the fence. Knows where he is, Mark. One more shot should do it.
Come on, Diffix, are coming behind. Germany's coming involved as well. They need to get points, and that's what they're going to go for now. Bibat is going to be there. Diffix is on the other side of this hill. It has a little bit of a climb to happen. And for Argentina, though, they are applying pressure. Fex does find the final player, though. Belmouth will fall from Thailand. And here we go. Argentina crashed the compound, boost it, kill and confirm.
That's brilliant. And that leaves Diffix now as the last player standing for Ukraine as they go back down to a solo. And the as the game progresses, USA 16 minutes later finally make it in towards the circle, I guess, after that long rotate north. And do you know what, Mark? They've actually got themselves a sneaky good spot.
Yeah. A lot of the other teams obviously have to work in. Neutral now crashing the compound where Team United Kingdom are, so they've got to try and manage this, and this is what worries me. They sometimes get left and they get exposed, they get divided. Free on one side. Unfortunately for Michael, he's been left to his own devices, but he has a Panzer in hand. If he can get an opening knock, he might be able to get a point and trade out.
Yeah, and Michael sprays with the 4X on the M4, but he's not able to really do any damage of note as Brazil start to sneak up onto the hill in this compound as well. So keep an eye on what's happening here. But the first knock, Mark, is a doozy with a nade.
Yeah, it does open things up here. Vard disengaged. If third party comes in from the west, so they've got to be cautious. Another nade comes over, but it's going to be short for Fex. Here's Levante. Tend to miss too many of them. They are ready. They are waiting because they know time is ticking. South Korea coming on the hill towards their north. Naduzi gets that confirmation from Michael.
Yeah, needs to confirm that one out, making things even harder for Team UK now, as it looks like Neutral have completely usurped them in this compound, forcing the other 3 players to go further south. Now, this is either going to be a big win for China or a big win for Neutral or Team UK based on the shift, and it actually plays out nicely for China and even Germany.
Yeah, Germany get it past. It does go towards that south side. UK obviously losing 1, stir 3. They tried to hold on to this big compound. It does have an opening. I think the next opening, if you're South Korea, do you go for the crash? And we see the difference here. Team Neutral now looking back towards that north because they know there is a danger that South Korea might take a bit of a stopgap before having to apply into pressure into the compound.
Question for me now, though, is where do the USA go? Because their access points have become really limited. Like, you have the opportunity to crash onto this long compound that China are playing. Everywhere else around the north is just open ground. Like, the only other option that I can see them take, Mark, is if they decide to wrap all the way around the edge and push onto the hill that Finland are playing. But they've got to make a decision at some point on this move.
This is timing. We see Birdie goes in towards the smoke. He has a couple of bit of
look,
jump
they're going
scout
to the
as
hill.
well. And I think they've clocked. There are numbers stacked on this side of the compound. So not as interesting crash. Difficult for them. So they're looking. They're seeing the options now. And you can see that rotation path. That there is to use their hill to stop China getting opening shots into them.
I like that move. I think the hill towards the south, even though it's higher, you know, potential fights, is a better move. But here comes Korea. They're sending it in. That's a great nade. That's going to take down Heaven as Levante will find that one. And maybe that might be the signal for the other teams here to activate too.
Yeah, it looks like Brazil's looking to try and climb the compound. UK have to try and hold. They're focusing on the other sides here. Strimsy does find amnesia, but that's at a distance. Fex does find the opportunity as well. Grenade will go in hand. As Batulians, though, he's one of two, but he's got his wingman of Lou right next to him.
Yeah, that nade does a bit more damage, but for South Korea, this is not looking good. Gumin will dip into that dip for now, hide behind the Pika bus, but Batulins, he's going to try airburst that nade. It goes up over the high ground. That's a great BZ.
Right, BZ.
That's landed right in the dip.
Yeah, playing more basketball as it comes off the backboard. Gumin has to kind of escape. Blue takes some damage, though, as he does run out from Team UK. Batulins, that's a very difficult decision to try and make. Oh my God, how has he got away with that?
I don't know. It's just magic. Maybe it's home bias. Maybe it's plot armor, but he's still alive. UK coming under pressure from Brazil, by the way, on the other side of this fight too, as Lou and Batulins are still the last two neutral players standing. Human using the audio sprays over towards Lou and does a little bit of damage, Mark, but not quite enough. And look at the US. They actually pushed towards Brazil. Yeah, it just opened up for them. They had an opportunity to try and get some more points. They came to the base, but Brazil opened things up, China causing them some problems. They try and get the angle. In USA, though, they rolled the dice. It doesn't roll their way. 12th place for them. Good rotation, but doesn't quite execute the way they wanted. Brazil need to push to get those crates now as Indonesia's Setsuna has been deleted as well, so Brazil need the ammunition. Human still alive, but it's phase 5 blue and he's only got one first aid left to work with, so it ain't looking good for Korea. T-Bone, he's actually going to find a knock here, a flush on the Levante as it's all getting active, and Mark, that shift goes directly towards the Chinese. Yeah, UK obviously have ride the wave a little bit. It felt a bit chaotic. Obviously, with Brazil unable to claim the compound, I think they have to applaud that Team USA came in at the right time. It now allows them. We're still 9 teams up though as we enter phase 6. Becomes a fixation, a focal point now. T-Bone trying to pick up neutral though. Gets a little bit of a clip there. At distance, Lou charges forward. M249 though, again taking some damage. T-Bone store holding out, changes the position. Vex though not too far away, but they have to be wary at any time. Brazil can come over on the south side. Yeah, and watch for Hemas as well. He's still alive right on the edge between the Brazilians, and he could cause a huge problem for them. And I think that he's going to wait until we get into the placement point window, right? If he can wait, gets 8th or 7th, that's when he'll activate on Brazil. That's when he'll become the real problem. But UK trying to lock out neutral now and, you know, really move up from 14th place. Yep. He does find him, does step up. He gets stepped out. So Vietnam are going to fall Ukraine. They survive out towards the placement points now. And now here comes Team Neutral. They've had to make the run round. Lou finds T-Bone. And Vex now has to try and hold up. And Vard's not too far away. Huge nade from him. Yeah, Vex is holding the angle on the other side. He sprays, but Lou manages to cross the ground and he's made it up towards that wall. So it's a 2 versus 2 of standing players. Another smoke and another dip down towards the edges. A doozy is still trying to stay in the fight, but this is big for both of these teams. It is big, but they've got the angles. It comes on the other side. Vard does find a doozy. They make the charge from Lou. Vex has to try and get the med back on Vard. Repositions, but he's worried and cautious, though, that they might be trying to get the res back on. So time is ticking. They can't overextend because Sparking is here and UK falls 7th place. That's exactly what Brazil have been waiting for. It's more points on the board for them. They're up to 9 kills and 42 points. And for neutral, they're going to go for the res. And this isn't a bad thing, because that res might just create another point that Brazil could potentially garner. Sparking will close the gap to the edge. He knows where they are. And Brazil, they might not get the map win, but they're certainly able to farm a couple more points. Big points at the moment. The Team Neutral, they're on 9.
for Brazil. They're also on 9. Tony looking for that pre-nade around the outside to see if anyone's kind of lurking there. Good hit for him, but no damage has been done. Sparking does find his way in towards the compound, but with the blue zone pushing, he has to move his way out, and Lou finds himself on the roof, but time again is ticking.
Yeah, that drop's going to give away the audio cue, though, to Sparking, so he knows that he's off the roof, and both players now have the blue at their backs, so they'll get into the Blanco, they'll get on the move, but this is bait. He moves up to the next compound. They've still left another player in the open. It's Lou, and Tony spotted him. Yeah, Tony did spot Lou's peak, though. I think he was trying to find if Sparking was on the inside, but he wasn't. Good bait from neutral, though, as they leave. Looks like Tony has the molly, goes for the flash to start with. He's going to try and stop the exit from Lou. He actually goes a little bit further. Smoke comes down. It's going to try and deny the shots. Yeah, Brazil are going to have a really small window to catch Lou once he starts winning or starts moving. So he really needs help from Batulins. Like, Lou's life is in the hands of Batulins now, but he doesn't really seem all that interested in peeking towards Brazil just yet. And here's the thing. Ammo. Oh my God. Yeah, but Brazil have been low all game long. Yeah. It's like they're not fighting for the kills. It's like they're fighting to ensure they get more ammo so they can go to the next fight. They can go to the next stage. At the moment, it's not going to be happening. Jawu finds Sata. The Finlands are trying to hold on at the moment, but the zone has left them. And for China, they can now start to leave. Tony holds that higher ground as they do send reinforcements forward. Brazil need to get in zone, but they can't overstep Team Neutral. Yeah, that nade's thrown. Lou's trapped inside. Now he's going to make his move. He steps. Out of the blue, this could be the chance to get the knock, and Tony finds it on the high ground. Batu, he could have stepped in, he could have intervened, but for now, he's still going to hold the compound. A nade from Spaceman wipes out Finland. Batu surely the next player to fall, and Brazil up to 10 kills. They're up to 10 kills. They're using the Pico Busters to try and block out and keep Sparking in the fight here. Surakin is going to be on the hold. Mobile cover though, Sparking steps up. Baturian finds Tony though, but they have to stack up. Baturian is a big cat and he's taking a huge swipe at Brazil. Yeah, I think he might just try to deny now inside the blue. Shotgun at the ready. Can you ruin Brazil's day? A couple of shots, but I think for Batu, it's done. BL gets the nade and Brazil get another. But here comes China. Sparking! He gets one, but Jawu trades it back. They had to turn really quickly, and China closed the gap massively and then annihilate Brazil. It's a huge 11 points for them on the board, plus the placement. And for China, they're down to 2. Payne's the final player for Germany. They've dug the trench, but he has to dig now and find the final 2 players. He's too far away, though. He's way too far to do any damage, and that will allow China to regroup. 2 versus 2. They're sending it over now to get the rest. Come on, Pains. You've got the chance to make something happen, but you ain't gonna. Zhao Wu, he gets it done, and I spoke about China not turning up. They finally did. James, welcome to PNC China.
Came in with, this is an important one for them. They didn't have that many points, but this compound provided them enough purchase to be able to get themselves on the board here for this one. Matrim, what do you make of it here for China?
I mean, big game for China. Had expectations for them to be far higher on the leaderboard going into this game, but now finally starting to get something together. Get some kills. They managed to hold down the compound, but for me, yeah, respect where it's due. China, you took your win. Brazil took the points, though, man. These guys made it in later stages and were just murdering this whole lobby.
Yeah, very well done, as you say, by Brazil. I mean, again, they're probably still going to be in first place here, all things considered, Mark. And this is, as much as I was like, yeah, okay, they'll be my, in inverted commas, budget pick for the fantasy as a whole. Man, they have surprised me. They're so impressive so far.
You and me both. They were on my budget pick list as well, and it was the gamble that they're good for a good kill. They're good for a win, maybe. But at the moment, it looks like they're trying to take the win from PNC. I like the management we see from them. I did feel this game was about kind of like ammo management, and they had to take fights to try and I suppose, restock to a degree, but the time they take the fights is critical. Look at UK. They knew that UK were above them. They waited in the kill feed. They saw UK having to take the fight with neutral. Then they apply pressure over the hill. And that's just one example. This whole match was about what time was Brazil going to make the push over.
Brutal for all of these teams to deal with what is an extremely Western circle here, though, Gibson.
It really was brutal, and you saw that at some points just the kill feed lining up like that. But I want to talk about that Brazil play. I think that they realized they weren't going to win that game with China holding the compound on the other side, so they focused on getting what points they could on the edge. The crazy thing is China almost delivered the win that way. Like when China sent the 2 players over to take the fight to Brazil straight after the Batu knock, they could have easily gifted that win to the Brazilians, but China, they got it done, and fair play to Justice. He eked out a second.
Yep. Hey, Germany in general has been showing up really nicely, really strongly. Pains towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, pains.
But I mean, with that being the position that they were in here, I mean, after those first 2 games, I thought, okay, well, Germany's not going to be able to do anything. But these last 2 here, Matchroom, have been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Germany kind of came in with very minimal expectations. They did manage to skip over doing all the qualification stuff, and they just jumped straight into the grand final. And they were kind of like, okay, well, like the entirety of the world was like, hey, let's talk about China. Let's talk about South Korea. Germany holding down a 7th place right now is very far above expectations. And if they can keep this up, this is holding down a great position for them overall. I mean, this is a squad that you can't necessarily call a dark horse, but definitely breaking what you were expecting them to be at, which would be a little bit more towards the bottom of the leaderboard.
Especially in a very trying day, right? That is going to be difficult here, Mark.
Yeah, look, I don't think I'll add really to Germany. I think they've come in here. I think we look at last year's Germany roster, and you'd argue that maybe he's a little bit stronger because of the synergy. Then we look at this roster, obviously, and with Justice there, he's working their way through a different team. They've obviously seen on regionals, didn't quite get through in the end. And Chris, obviously, historically playing with Pains, they haven't played the survival stage. I think the guys are doing really well.
Yeah, very well done so far. Good to see, as eventually we'll take a look at the numbers that have come in from this game and how they all do break down. I was impressed that China was able to hold that whole compound for as they did. The one thing that I was surprised by, though, is that nobody looked to push the north side of it. And it's a compound that traditionally not that easy to hold if you're going to hold the entirety of it, but 17 points go their way, Matchroom.
I mean, it felt like everybody else just got bloodthirsty. China did decent enough on defense. They had 1 kill moving into the later stages of the game, but they had territory control on the compound. Most of the other teams kind of leaned more into the east, and that just fed Brazil as, looks like we're starting to get a little bit of a break point. Brazil 15 points ahead of the tie between Korea and Thailand.
Yeah, what a crazy scenario, right? Those 3 teams were all on 31 points in the previous game, all tied together. Korea got 1, Thailand got 1. Brazil was like, hold my beer. This is, we're making the run for it. What a leap forwards there for them. And again, they're getting distance on some extremely strong squads here, Gibson.
They really are. And again, people rule them out because a lot of people might think they're not the glamorous pick. You look at their price on fantasy. You have to remember that Brazil historically just win maps when it comes to PNC. It's what they do, and they've kicked off the day the right way. Again, I highlighted BL early. It's another MVP performance for him. Something I love about BL is he's almost your ultimate wingman. He's never the point man, but when somebody needs help, he's there. Like, remember Sparking behind the tree when he got into that fight with the BRDM? It was BL who saved Sparking's life.
Yep. Looking great, looking really good here for number 1. If you're Brazil and you get another good result from this game, the lead that you could potentially build into a day number 2 here for PNC will be monumental. So, hey, let's have our fingers crossed here for Brazil, because it'll be awesome to see these guys actually be able to get a win. Because whenever you kind of meet them on LAN as well, Matchroom, they're always just so happy, happy, and really kind of just nice to be around as a whole.
As long as you don't catch them practicing playing football, right? If you catch them actually playing football, then everybody is mad all the time. But yeah, these guys are some of the nicest guys you can hang out with. Big hearts. You guys were talking about like Sparking stories. Everybody's got one. These guys are just so good. And respect where it's due for Brazil. Phenomenal play coming out from them. But China, thank you for finally getting something. I was starting to get worried. You were down like in the bottom 3. That's what nobody was expecting.
All right, we're almost in the final leg here for day number 1 of PNC 2026. So thank you very much for sticking around. I can't even find my words. We're going to go to a break, and when we return, we have got one more game here for day number 1.
Hello everyone. Welcome to a sit-down business talk time with Bella and Team Norway. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello.
What makes your country, your team, strong at this year's PNC?
I think we had a lot of good preparations. That's what makes us really ready for this tournament.
Can you elaborate on that, James? What kind of prep work did you guys do?
We went over our flight tickets, made sure that we went to the right country.
Yes.
Here we are.
We know you guys as PUBG, the gamers side, right? But let's see what you guys would be if you weren't a professional gamer.
If I weren't a gamer, I would probably be a businessman.
What kind of business?
That's a good question. Maybe a tailoring shop.
All right, I can see that. Well, what about you, James?
Probably be a businessman. Tailoring shop, maybe.
So creative here.
I would be the boss of the tailoring business.
Ben?
I'll be the tailor.
You be the tailor, the actual. All right, thank you. Can you teach me a Norwegian greeting or like a bye?
Ha det bra.
Ha det bra?
Yeah, it's like goodbye.
Ha det bra. Wait,
Ha det bra.
okay. Ha det bra.
Ha det bra.
There it is, the Google Play Point. These points get you more than a high score. Play, earn, and redeem them for exclusive rewards that supercharge your gameplay. Or score the latest must-have gear and up your game with sweet accessories. You're already winning. Now go get the rewards with Google Play Points. Redeem now and go reward yourself.
Fueled by the same passion as esports athletes, Zowie continuously develops tailored products, empowering gamers to bring their best out. Today, we are launching the all-new XL2566X Plus, which uses the newly developed Fast TN panel and upgraded DIAC 2 technology. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
For the first time ever, you get next-gen power in gaming earbuds, giving you flawless wireless. That's plug and play. Now you've got 100+ audio presets at your fingertips. So you can hear bad guys better, hear whatever you want better. That's a giant leap for earbuds, and a new way to play for glory. For the first time ever,
Arctis Nova 7 Gen 2. The app called the biggest cheat code in the industry is here for PC and console. It's got real-time audio control to do crazy things.
Okay. Okay.
So use it and abuse it, you crazy person. It's the new gold standard.
Me? Malta? Me? I know, but why are we looking at me when you said it?
Hello everyone, welcome to another sit-down game time with Bella. With me is Team GBR or United Kingdom. Hello guys.
Hello.
Yeah. Did you guys say GBR is a mouthful?
Yeah. Too much confusion.
All right, today's game is Never Have I Ever.
Okay. Never
Yeah,
have I
you guys
ever.
all know that game. We should decide what the penalty would be first.
No dancing, please.
No dancing?
I was like
Easy.
a tweet. You get a tweet someone. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We pick it as a collective.
Because it's only 4 of you, we'll start with 4 fingers up.
All right, never have I ever been to Italy.
Oh, we
You haven't been.
So you don't put a finger down?
Yes.
I have.
Thank you, T-Bone.
Yep.
Thank you. Wonderful. What a leader.
Okay. Never ever been to Malaysia.
You've been. We went last year.
Exactly. Put your finger down.
Bro, you've been like 10 times.
Never have I ever smoked a cigarette.
Ooh.
No one smokes cigarette
Michael,
now.
are you? What finger are you on now?
Wait, I can't do that. Fingers don't work that way. Never ever eat octopus.
Oh.
All right, let's rock it. One more Erangel here for day number 1 of PNC 2026. And hey, guess what? I can see the timer on the map feed as well. Whoa, this man painted in all these different colors. It's going to have to step aside as we get into our final game. Thank you very much, Gibson and Mark, for that great insight here at this segment. Once again, as me and Matrim will finish things off here for the games for today. We're finally here, game number 5. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
We made it! Game number 5 time. Everything finishes out day number 1 right here. China finally coming alive. We've been seeing Brazil absolutely pop off while we've still got squads like Ukraine on the hunt, and now on to Erangel. Means the fact that we're on home turf for everybody. It's gonna be a bloodbath brewing.
Yowie wowie, let's get it going. Yes! All right, okay, we've got them all dropping on down. We've got that southern plain path, which does make it a little bit hard for the stretch here to the north.
Millie, maybe? I always get nervous whenever I see this south. It feels like it's kind of going to pull that direction. See if we make anybody go for it. Maybe Finland looks like they're going to go down that way. Thailand's just going to do their normal shark fin kind of bridge drop. So instead, everybody just kind of playing along the coastline. And given the way that the last Erangel went, I know it was a while ago. Coastline play, not necessarily a bad call.
You know, Matrim, that is exactly what I was going to say. I was like, just wait for exactly the same circle with exactly the same amount of water in, because for some reason, I've seen a lot of circles down there, especially in PEC. Yeah. Like, we had a lot of first circles down on that angle towards Milter and Mini Milter Power. But anyway, let's find out where we are going. In just a few seconds, it will pop. As, oh no, we're going a bit more central here. So neutral, as I was mentioning before, they were having a bit of bounce back and forth with Vietnam on this drop, and Vietnam has completely veered off, going West Coast drop for this one.
Brazil already in a great spot. Ukraine's going to have control down to the south. Most of our squads doing an early release means that the West is pretty clustered. This means that USA going to be involved in a couple of early game shots, as this is just a run right in on top of Cowboy. Everybody comes in full on gusto. No real support coming in for USA right now. They're all still in the process of looting, a bit more separated. Kurt looks like he's trying to get over here, so it's all on to Cowboy. He's just got to survive until some form of reinforcement can get here.
That nade actually did quite a bit of damage there, so now that actually does slow Philippines down. I will say, though, I've been made a fan out of Philippines. They have so much fun. They're very aggressive, very wily, and they're going to continue that on against Cowboy here. Does see him from the distance, or to the side even, I should say. That's how the reinforcing shot's going against that alternate angle. Here comes the reinforcements. Cowboy in the air, runs him down. This is crazy stuff coming out from the USA on the defense.
We going full America right now, as it is just commit. Rolls right into all of it. Cowboy now starting to rally himself, got his meds back together, and while Philippines wanted this position, they're going to have to now defend it from everybody roaming around on the outside of it. Kickstart now in position on one side. Ajit in a lot of trouble. 2 different aggressors and just a tree for cover.
Trying their best to shut this down. Good stuff by Kickstart, though. We'll finish that off there for the moment. Purdy Curdy will look for the confirm, but it's going to be the nade that gets it anyway. Cowboy still safe, still alive, unless they go super aggressive around these corners. It's going to be difficult, but the thing is now is that Philippines is stuck in this building. Their initial aggression has completely gone awry.
And Cowboy staying alive is in due big part Shrimzy. This position right here allowed Cowboy to have some level of escape. Shrimzy just yet again coming in, but doesn't have much to work with. You can see only 30 rounds, so he has to be very, very careful. Rest of USA now coming in. Philippines down to just 2, and it feels like the momentum is on the USA side. Can the Philippines manage to rally together to fend up, as they don't really have an idea on where all the different angles of approach could be coming from?
Yeah, if they can all get closer together here, they can eventually sweep this up and finish it off. Oh, and Kickstart finds him through the window. That's going to be the go sign. Right, there's only one of you left alive, surely. Now flash forwards here from Purdy Curdy, maybe in the building as well. Cowboy's going to make that push forwards as well. Kickstart, this roof angle has been fantastic for him. Sees him on the roof, gets him done. That's 3 for Kickstart. That is a great squad wipe by US.
Man, they needed that one, so maybe we'll see some momentum coming out of it. Germany on defense against Argentina, who's trying to pick a fight. Argentina's been pretty involved throughout the day. It started off with them kind of bumping into everybody in game number 1. It just kind of hasn't stopped. A lot of our squads over in the west at least starting to get some breathing room, but down into the southwest, it's getting pretty dusty. Still Germany having to deal with Argentina, of course, but Denmark's going to be right on the other side of it all.
DraftKings with the nade. Not bad at all. I mean, the smoke kind of gives away exactly where you are, and if you're behind a tree next to the smoke, pinpoint accuracy coming out from Argentina to be able to deny that. Similarly, Germany just trying to get themselves back up and good to go. They do realize, though, that there are threats lurking around on multiple angles, so you should be staying in these buildings. They're smoking to try and get him back up. Tricky play potentially coming out here. Maybe if there's another nade to post into a smoke, that could be the finishing factor.
I'm kind of surprised by the commitment that's come out from Denmark right now. They have one player that's gone all the way over next to the eastern bridge, trying to get a foothold position in the circle. Another one, Gustav, going to be playing right on the east or the western bridge, and the other two trying to see if they can keep containment on this. Maybe go for a third-party pounce if something presents itself. But Argentina is playing this really, really slow. This is, of course, phase number 1, so it's all just going to be about the timings and how much does this cost you getting into the circle.
Yeah, Pippa was interested in posting that nade that I was talking about before. Maybe I confirmed from all of this. And now another one goes forwards, but it's not far enough. Little things that could quite easily go Argentina's way, slightly going awry. But looking for another one. DraftKings, second spray. Okay, gets Ares as well as it's Chris.
Timing for this is great. Now Denmark's getting out of position. That's going to open up more. Amy does go down. That's going to make it a bit more scary. Pippa's got to find something on this angle. Does get the knock. And it is just Payne's the last one up, and he is all lonesome. So Argentina is now firmly on the hunt.
Full cleanup would be awesome. Fantastic stuff here so far from DraftKings. Finishing off the 2 that he was able to pick up earlier on. Payne's the last one remaining in the previous game. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be going very, very soon. Unless they can maybe try and make some magic happen. Little flash forwards here from DraftKings. Payne's trying to juke and jive around these buildings, seeing what he can find. If he could get a similar angle, a single angle. Oh, no, Pippa will finish it off. Good stuff by Argentina.
Oh, Pippa needed to get that. That would have completely thrown off the timing for Argentina. USA up to the north, who had their early skirmish on a rotate. Here's the bridge very far to the north, and it's going to be Turkey that gets vision on Vietnam. Nothing really comes out of it just quite yet, so Vietnam just going to get discouraged from this angle, but everything kind of the north going to slow everything down because there's nobody really up there, so there's plenty of space to work with, and Tanvu and Imas do the 1-2 punch onto Turkey, and now they can go wherever they want.
Yeah, not bad on the north side of this circle, and it is very open to be able to not only get these knocks, but then also confirm them in this kind of area, as Beamy in the distance as well does actually knock a member from Thailand. While this is going on, Delwyn goes for a bit of a mad spray against the rest of Turkey as a flip goes on from himself. Oh no, he barely just rolled back onto his belly.
You saw Delwyn was running away from that, saw the car kind of catch a weird angle, instantly stopped, spins back around. Celtic, there's nowhere to go. Turkey now out early.
Yeah, tough one. 18 points. I mean, there's been moments here from Turkey to actually have a good run so far. Sparking finds Fex. And again, this is the thing that really burns the players so hard about the pickaxe. You cannot see these dips as you come over hills. And this was the perfect opportunity for Sparking to strike. Very opportunistic.
Just deadly jack the boxes spattering all across the map right now. Everybody is going for a very centered meta in playstyle, no surprise. Yes, we do have the river that's cutting through the north that leads all the way into Yasnaya, but really just a couple players from Vietnam over there, maybe USA as well, we'll have to see. everybody else kind of playing in that middle position where neutral is going to be kind of the core area to play from. Brazil going to have a spattering of players kind of across, leading down into Ukraine. Firefights could break out depending on how the circle goes if it jukes anywhere, but if it just stays centered up, most people are going to feel pretty good. Going hard to the south is going to make this dicey.
Yeah, Ukraine almost dead center at the moment, and they're going to have the pick of the litter in which compounds they want to take straight away from a circle like this. Delwyn even going into the water for a little bit of extra loot himself. Maybe a bit more util on board. 3 nades, 1 molly, few smokes to boot. So Delwyn and the boys from Vietnam looking pretty good about what they actually have available. Great Britain knew that there was someone here, so they've got to be very cautious about this, as this is where they lost Fex, and now Brazil is moving away as well. But a circle like this, there's a lot of work to be done for those teams in the north here, Matrim.
Yeah, and I think that's why UK is being so cautious. They were saying if maybe they could jump, leapfrog in, get closer to where Brazil's going to be going. Brazil looks like they have eyes a bit more down into the circle, so that might open up something for UK to play with. Longer wraps are going to be coming in from Indonesia to the east of where we see Great Britain at for the time being. Vietnam also could come down on a similar angle. Lots of kind of counter wraps going on right now as Korea is going to go very far over into the west, because the westernmost section of this is going to be Pachinki, where we still have China at, maybe even USA, depending on how the wraps come in.
Potential for some really important compounds here for Thailand. We've seen these be extremely crashed into in some of the PGSs, etc. And even hold down for Thailand in the past. The careful thing is though, you don't want to be across too much of a compound like this in some of the later stages of these games, as Finland found themselves on the south side of it all. And technically speaking, Sattar is way over to the east, and Curex is way over to the west. So but I think they realize with a shift like this, there isn't that many threats down on the south side of the circle just yet. Just kind of like do a lot of good scouting, kind of find out exactly where you need to be, and then maybe even deny some teams on wider rotates.
Ooh, little ghost, you better be careful over here. You kind of just chilling right next to where USA is trying to wrap. I do believe that Kickstarter has spotted out Argentina just to the south of this. China's going to be regrouping on a similar area, so it's just going to be the rotates as now Vietnam bumping into Great Britain. Tan Vu coming off yet again in Vietnam. Very aggro early.
Looking difficult for Great Britain at the moment. Only 12 points. Nothing in this just yet. They do have a blue chip in hand, so maybe they can get one person up. Here can Great Britain, but you won't be getting Michael anytime soon. As now the US rotating in on behind them, as you were mentioning before. China is still a little bit vulnerable technically on the split that they actually have available here. So US is just biding their time on this west side, waiting to see where they would want to go. I wouldn't mind them going to the warehouses east of the fields on Pachinki, but I mean, they need to do some scouting before they know that that is currently free.
I mean, they have to make the assumption that China is over here somewhere. They probably assumed that they moved down maybe south Pachinki hillside. Instead, now it's more southeast. Korea also starting to pull in. China's just very separated out. You can see that they have multiple squads now in between their 2-2 split. Spaceman's still back in Pachinki. The circle pops. At least a little ghost is going to be inside of it. But now it's time to run through red zones and go for positioning. And it is straight up on Potato Mountain, and Ukraine's got control over it.
Yeah, so maybe some pre-driving there just for teams to try and get moving as fast as possible while this is going on. Ukraine, as you say, has got really strong control if they're able to just kind of get together, maybe hold down. The problem with Potato Hill is you can't hold it all at the same time as one team, so you're gonna maybe kind of commit to one side of it, and they've already let China move in alongside. I think the US realizes, okay, we're a bit late to be able to kind of pierce straight into the circle, so we're still playing that west side.
China comes in with a more passive approach, wants to make sure that they keep distance away from Potato itself. Instead goes right on the edge of it, playing to the west where they can continue to use the hill. This is a good read on the circle because to the west of them, it's going to be a no man's land as it is right on the edge of the zone. USA has to go away from this position, now tailing in back behind where we see South Korea making the wrap. Down into more of the centered position, it's going to be Thailand going for a regroup kind of to the northeast, but it's all kind of playing around position into Death Road and Potato. The northern section of Death Road kind of leads into where Thailand's going to be at. That's kind of a no man's land of kind of open territory, a couple of trees, but that's about it. And that's why we see so many wraps up into the north to try to approach into a more, I guess, hilly tree side of this all, but China's already set up and waiting for it.
Yeah, I don't know about this by USA at the moment. A lot of damage taken there on the entry point against Little Ghost. At the same time, though, they did send a nade against Little Ghost and take him down. Good stuff by Purdy Curdy. Kickstart takes down Spaceman. Trying to find an off angle here as well. I don't know that for China, they had a little bit of time to be able to set up a defense here, but it has completely gone against them.
Zhao Wu's just running. Tiantian's just kind of stuck back here. This is all safety play right now. It feels like maybe China, while they did well inside the last game, not necessarily feeling this one. So where do you go? You just had to surrender a great point on the map because USA just kind of came up and stole it from you.
Yeah, with little to no resistance. I'm very surprised by that from China. Maybe there were some crosswires on their side about what they actually wanted to do and how they wanted to defend the side of Potato. But at the same time, Argentina having a little bit of an overlook as well. Tiantian is gone thanks to Purdy. God, US is on a bit of a tear here at the moment. They've got to be careful, though, of the potential from Argentina to peek on over this ridgeline.
And Argentina has been peeking on everybody, so I feel like that's a looming. The only thing about it is it's 2-2 split from Ukraine, very close. Nope. Instead, Argentina goes diggy hole.
Good old dwarves, I like that. Yeah, they'll do all right for themselves here for the moment with the 4 kills that they've got here and digging on down. I mean, at least they're kind of almost setting up traps for if the US actually does peek on over themselves. Kickstart going all the way on the west side, looking for anything that would be going on. I think he was on a hunt for Zhao Wu. Didn't realize maybe that he completely disengaged from it.
They were leaving Spaceman as bait, and nobody from China is going to be taking it. Circle Pops, Death Road time, but that northern area that's going to be very open, James. This kind of sucks because we got way too many people alive, and there's not much space to play.
A lot of open uphill area between Thailand as well as up towards where Indonesia is. Now, South Korea, they've been on a journey and a half in this game. They've lost people on that journey, and I think they might end up losing a little bit more as well if they're not careful. Sprays against them from multiple teams here to try and get this going. Hakatori and Sparking, both excellent shooters, only take down one in the end, and it's the Kraken that takes down Heaven.
Well, there's just too many moving targets. It's right next to Brazil. We've got Vietnam that's coming up on approach, going right in the same position where Heather and Zhao Wu are going to be at. Neutral's still going to be back behind all of this. Vietnam's rolling right next to the others. Where do you even go? There's so many targets in this more open section. You've got to find somewhere where nobody's going to be taking some shots at you for a second and just dig in. Find something. And you can see Zhao Wu understands the mission right now. I just have to survive. I have to dig down. I have to use this rock and gill. Hopefully, this cover is going to be enough because it's about to be absolutely brutal over here.
Heather on kind of the salvage mission himself here and just take down Himas as a big scalp to take. I will say though that across all day, across all 5 games, there has been a lot of ham-fisted sends by teams in these games. It has just been, okay, we're a sledgehammer, we're going to crash in and we're going to try and make it work. And that has been prevalent compared to a lot of the tournaments that we saw over at PGS. But now some smokes do go down here to try and make the approach here from Indonesia against Denmark. They know that one is knocked currently. This could be an opportunity for Indonesia to get some points on the board. Whoa,
Denmark needing some as well. Getting caught. Nice play coming up. Gustav's going to be the one that gets down Setsuna. So now Beamy on a mission of his own. Counterflank right up on top of everybody. Finds one. Gets damage onto a second, but he's not done yet. Got the nade prepped, ready. Going to be able to toss it over. Reinforcements should find a good angle. But here comes reinforcements from the Indonesia side. Nade pops perfectly. And Beamy puts in the work.
What a play by Beamy. Denmark said it's all about Beamy, and he shows up. That's 5 for Denmark at the moment. They could probably get the res off as well there from that south side. What a hold coming in from him. That is why he is world-class, Matrim. Whoa.
Oh, God, it is just a pleasure to watch him play. USA, you've got to figure out how you want to deal with Argentina in front of you, and maybe even Neutral coming in behind, because Ukraine's got a defensive angle onto Neutral. So it looks like Ukraine has just managed to firmly control this side with Brazil's assistance, and Neutral just can't figure out how they want to get into this. They keep going back to the south, back up to the north. Nothing seems to be working.
No, I think what I was saying about these ham-fisted sends on through, I think they're really trying to not do that. But unfortunately, there's just not much places they can go. This could be a perfect third-party timing, though. PL is down thanks to T-Bone doing some damage to them. Here comes Neutral, but Sparking is looking lights out today alongside Tony as well. Neutral gone as quick as that in the flick of a switch.
Brazil now 20 points ahead of Ukraine.
Wow.
A sentence I wasn't expecting to say to start it today. My God, these guys are popping off, and it is Ukraine and Brazil right on top of each other. Thailand going to be next to them. Just don't go to the north. That is where all of the bad is happening right now. USA, though, now has to figure out how they want to deal with the southern duo of Ukraine with Argentina on top of them.
Okay, I'm picking up where you're putting down. So what you're telling me is that any other team go south and you're much better served there to try and get a win from this game, because the top is a field full of killers. I'm taking that. I'll take that.
I mean, down to the south, you got Denmark and Finland. I mean, Beanie's popping off himself, but I don't even know what you do around Potato right now, because if you start getting too much more to the south, you're going to start having to worry about what's going on with Death Road. Ukraine's very invested in what's happening with Brazil right on top of him, and Kraken's even tried to leave a couple of times, but he's getting punished by Thailand, and yep, he's going to go down. It's going to be Hakatori that finds him.
Apparently, Hakatori will just shoot at every team and also do well for himself. The good thing for the rest of the lobby is that the top 3 teams are currently killing each other, which isn't too bad. That's a nade. That's a perfect one. It bounces right off of him. That is going to be a confirm, surely. I cannot believe that bobbled away. Oh, but it's a double first sparking. Goodbye, Thailand, soon enough.
All right, United States, you just jumped out into the wrong neighborhood, starting to get something back onto Ukraine. Hakatori now the last one up. United States manages to bully their way into the zone, and it's going to be Hakatori very far to the north. He can't provide the close-range assistance, but he's putting in the work, making it hazardous. Brazil trying to find something up against Thailand at roughly the same time as everybody into the south is just watching the kill feed explode.
Oh no, here comes Argentina as well. Now they actually jump Thailand into that top 3 podium position at the end of day number 1 at the moment. And I think Thailand's got no more answers to be able to make for that happen. Argentina, what a rocket up. South America in general looking fantastic here, because this could be Argentina winning the West, winning the North.
Now it's going to be second place. You called it. South America 1 and 2 over Ukraine and Thailand. So, and a potential for more. A very weakened United States still just trying to get themselves back together, and Pippa is going to continue to exploit it. Hakatori on the other side, and there is nowhere for Kickstart to go. He is just trapped in all the cars, all the mess. Even the cars are abandoning him as they roll down the hillside.
Try his best, Kickstart, dance around, reload that P90. And technically, P90s can make magic happen. Wait, he had no ammo? Did he not pick up the ammo for it? Oh. I think he need. Oh, okay. No, he's just picked it up now. 138 bullets. He didn't have enough time to be able to do it all in one fell swoop. As now Ukraine gone at the hands of Pippa. Argentina, man, they've been on the warpath.
I mean, Finland wanted to get a piece of that, but Argentina just not really letting him get anything out of it. Couple of shots. Kickstart does find the knock onto Capitan, so some vengeance back.
Just like magic tricks, boom, as quickly as that, and you're gone, though, unfortunately, for Kickstart. Gonna have to pull a rabbit out of your hat for USA in the next couple of days. That said, though, actually, a rabbit out of their hat, 10 kills in this game matching for USA. So actually, the whole story has really been America's, not just South America for this game.
Keep the climb going. I mean, it started a little bit late, but now eyes drawn down to Finland, Denmark. How are they going to handle the southern section? Belmoth's still alive for Thailand, but it's not feeling too good. Brazil weakened up into the north, as maybe could be bumping into Argentina. Sparking just... He's got goals, man. Every single thing that's around him, he wants to put a bullet into.
Belmoth wants to just thread the needle himself for a straight send through onto some of these cars. If you can't see the dip made by either a red zone or nade, you can see the car in it. So that is a bit of a check mark, a landmark for you to be able to make this move. Not bad there at all. But here comes Argentina. Where are you going? You've got the P90 in hand, stole it away from Kickstart. Moving into these smokes, it's a good transition.
I like this. Kind of play this a little bit of a ridge. It gives you space away from Finland, who's been kind of chasing after you. Finland does have some high ground, but Finland's got their own problem, and they're having to deal with Denmark on their defense. So Finland has to figure out how they're going to get into the circle. With Argentina getting into this point, they can play it for now, try to force back any counter moves that Brazil's wanting to go for, and Brazil's already read it. They can't push that angle. It doesn't feel good. They know that there's a Solo and Belmoth down there, so they've had to retreat to the east. This is just great positional control coming out from Argentina to force everybody else to play around their game.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Finland and Denmark gonna have to be at loggerheads with one another as well, though, on this south side. I feel like it's only a matter of time before they really take a proper engagement against one another. So technically, unless Finland feels so pressured by Denmark's shots and like maybe takes a knock or something like that, that they feel forced to go north. But I feel like that is a dangerous path to take.
We should also note that closest to the center of the circle, Vietnam is still alive with 2 players up, Sololsli and Tanvu. While we're seeing a lot of superstars pop off, let's not forget Tanvu is just waiting in the distance for anybody that gets close enough to him, most notably potentially Denmark, who's now starting to get a little bit of duress thrown at them as Finland is trying to bully their way in, and Argentina providing some support to allow, I guess, an easier path for Finland.
More smokes forwards. Our Denmark coach once again looking on with bated breath, seeing if they can stay alive. I think Vietnam's not going to move too much, so I don't think they're in too much of a threat of being sandwiched. Although that said, was a switch over to a nade. Mixon though does knock your Exy. Good start for them to thwart any kind of aggression coming from Finland. More sprays, more shots forward. He could be in nade range. He could get a double here, but Keta with the Keta 98 is able to hit a big one against Satta.
That one was good. I like the Keta 98. Loving it. Finland, you just got to fight your way in. It's just rocks and a couple of trees and not much else to work with. Beamy, though, he's got goals. He's got himself a dip to play.
Nice.
And he's getting closer and closer by the second circle. Pops and favors Denmark.
You're supposed to res me, not hit me with a pickaxe. Hey, hey. Uh-oh. Okay, the third party does come in from the behind there as Gustav goes down to Sololzi. Now Denmark got to be very, very cautious about all of these angles, and they've not been able to put the boot in against Finland. They've not killed anybody off, just knocks, but the reses have happened. This could go really badly for Denmark.
That is Sololzi leaving position to try to go to the south to see if he can backstab Denmark so that way he can move back up into the north. This is Vietnam just trying to play with the territory and how long it's taking Denmark to deal with Finland, and just enough to stay alive. As to the north, let's not forget, we still have Belmoth alive, Brazil and Argentina all still needing to get in the circle, while Finland's just going to have to deal with whatever Denmark's trying to bring.
Yeah, I was about to say it feels like 2 games are going on simultaneously, but that said, Argentina from the north has spotted Vietnam in what I would consider that south side of this circle at the moment. So not so much. The 2 games are now converging. As Mixon still, gosh, they have so much deployable cover there. And sees Curexi on that cross, does Beamy. And Keta will finishing it off straight away. I will say, it's PEC, he is a bit of a phenom with the Car 98, so the Keta 98 wasn't totally spontaneous.
Oh, Argentina finding kills on the climb of their own, wanting to try to compete up against Brazil at the top. They managed to at least get into the circle, and it's come at the ruin of Finland. Just nowhere really for them to go. Brazil's also starting to get into the circle as Tony's going to get some vision on Tanvu, make it a little bit scarier, but Belmoth has so few options. He's got Brazil on one side, Argentina on the other. The only benefit is Argentina's very focused on Denmark and Finland right now, so maybe there's a path there if he can at least get by Brazil.
Yeah, Tony takes some damage, a little bit of a smoke peek there from Belmoth, but they kind of should have him dead to rights, really. As soon as he moves up to that tree, he should be in nade range and should be killable. Although it goes a bit short there. So not quite finding Belmoth where they want him. Has to heal up. As soon as he comes out of here, though, has to back off. Oh, goes for a little spin punch onto the tree. Manages to survive with 3. But even this tree is not in the blue. Oh, no, he's out. He's gone.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get there. So Brazil gets more maneuverability room up into the north. But I don't know. This is a very, very open circle. You're looking at the entirety of it right now. Argentina over into Vietnam. It's just these trees, a hill, kind of recess to play for, and not much else really on the board. Denmark's going to have the control position off the start.
12-point average, and we're not done just yet for Brazil for day 1. This is great. Of course, we looked at the beginning of the day looking at, teams like Ukraine, who in the survival stage had like a 15.3 average across their games. But this is a whole different kettle of fish in a lobby like this when you are missing 8 of the world's best teams for PNC in that survival stage. Brazil's been able to keep it going in day number 1. So can they get a little bit more from this? As every team is wounded here. This could go any way with everybody playing the edge here, Matrim.
Yeah, and Brazil just looks so clean and hungry in all of these games. The performance coming out. Argentina has been an aggressor time and time again. Denmark, of course, bringing in the heady style of play, while Vietnam still has the capabilities to have their pop off at any moment. Tanvu looks like he's got line and eyes up against Tony. That might be the direction that he's trying to defend. In Finland, man, I don't even know how you come down that hillside. You're dealing with the 2 strongest squads right now as far as manpower goes in Denmark and Argentina both.
P90 just 0 recoil. You can be pinpoint accurate with some of these long-range sprays. As now Satta down once again. Argentina trying their very best to weave on in, but the Car 98 will get the knock again from Keta. As the P90 trying to finish everything off. You've got no nades, so these sprays are just trying to finish it off. Even just a little arc of a bullet to get rid of Finland somehow, some way would be huge.
They're still outside the blue. Yep, they're just going to go down, but Ketter manages to get that last little bit, and he is absolutely popping off the bolty. Good throw comes out from Tanvu, and Tony goes down.
If this were 2025, I think a lot of bets would be on Tanvu to make something work, but here in 2026, the distribution of skill has just been wider. And now here, Denmark trying to do something. That said, though, Tanvu with the double on the nade It's over here for Brazil. They've done enough, though, today, that's for sure. Looking brilliant so far.
Beamy, of course, looming large on one side of this. Him versus Tanvu. Big aim coming out as Argentina's got nowhere to go. They're just going to surrender it over the other side, and it's going to be Tanvu that manages to find it. Beamy on the other.
Keta knocked. Sololzi trying to do something. Vietnam was laid low through a lot of this game, and eventually this fight was going to boil on over here, as maybe they can get the res back up here. I think that they're scared about any more potential nades that be coming their way, but Tanvu does have another one in the pocket. They're going to really keep close eyes on that. You've got to be careful. Here come the nades. Do those thread the needle here between some of this deployable cover?
Dixon's got to hold this. He's got to defend it. There's enough time. Does manage to at least get the res back, but you still have to get the meds back into a better position. Nade goes in! And that is going to be Beamy getting knocked. Terrible position coming out from that one. Nade landed right into the pocket. Dixon, last one up. He's on fire! And it is going to be Vietnam that takes it in the end.
Those 2025 bets were not misplaced with a team like this being the champions in 2025. Now in the last game, they are back. Let's talk to Gibson and Mark about this game here. Gibson, Vietnam finally shows up here for day number 1.
Yeah, 5 maps, 5 different winners, and I did not think it was going to be Vietnam. When they had 2 players alive in the middle of the circle and they were outnumbered on all sides, but they still got it done, and it all came down to that incredible nade. Landed right on top of Denmark at the end, but as they always say, cream usually does rise to the top.
Yeah, it does. And man, has Brazil. I mean, if you think about the cream from today, I cannot believe it. But let's talk about Vietnam here just for a little bit longer. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, of course, Mark. This was just, you know, decent patience coming out from Vietnam, where they could have got a bit more aggressive on some teams, I think, there towards the late mid-game, but decided not to, and it worked out well.
Look, let's be honest, coming to the last game, they were really down that leaderboard. I think they were like 11th or 12th, right? Yes, there wasn't too many points in it, but actually they needed a win. They needed to close out today, being higher up that leaderboard. So if they want to stand a chance to win 2026, that they need to give themselves that kind of springboard to leapfrog and take on these top teams, because you say they've not really shown up so far today.
No, definitely not. Kind of a crazy game in general, Matrim here for the Americas in general. 10 for Brazil at least, 10 for Argentina, 10 for the USA in terms of their kills. You guys, you just killed half the lobby.
I mean, didn't necessarily want it at the start, but they'll take whatever firefights they've got to get. Quick reactions paid off for them and got them in the later stages, and really just kind of being scrappy enough to find points in some desperate situations. So if USA can find a circle early enough, be very interested to see how that one's going to go. But it's just a very explosive end, quite literally, as nades and bolties being such a big factor of course, Beamy as well. Beamy just such a prolific player to watch how he navigates such an open circle.
Yeah, rinsed Indonesia, that's fair to say, for that defense on that south side. And if it hadn't quite gone their way, maybe Denmark wouldn't have got enough done in this game. As we welcome you back here to the desk to kind of round out the day. It's been a long one this day, but I think Gibson, looking at Denmark there towards the end, it deserves a minor comnu here for Denmark, I think, that game.
No, we'll give them a good one. I think Keter really earned some big plays in that one. Some of the bolty plays, the Beamy nades transition to a spray was absolutely nasty, and if it wasn't for Keter with the bolty, Argentina could have gotten an extra few points at the end of that one. So a lot of credit to them. I think they'll go into tomorrow feeling good, but for Denmark, they need to justify that price on fantasy, because they were very expensive going into today.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, you see those kinds of individual plays, and that was pretty darn good. It's just a shame you're going up against someone like Vietnam at the very end there, Mark. I think that if it's anyone else, hey, maybe Denmark does round that out, but not good old Tanvu and the boys.
Well, now, that grenade, obviously, Beamy was unlucky. The car kind of knocked into him and he got knocked down. But again, Keter and that bolty, insane on the way there. And that kind of 1-2 combo between Beamy, obviously, like transitions, Gibson said, grenade over towards Jorg. Really good play from him. Keter just sweeping up those kills. Yeah, unlucky. Good to see him at the end. And either one of those teams, for me, taking a win, actually, is really good to close out lane number 1.
Oh, interesting note that I was just passed forwards, actually. 3 compensation points have been awarded to Ukraine in those overall leaderboards. But let's take a look at this game in particular. 21 for the current defending champions in Vietnam, as they have got themselves into a great position. And Denmark, 16. But beyond all that, as I said, the Americas, 16 for Argentina, 14 for Brazil, 11 for United States. And United States here, Matrim, really needed this one.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie about that one. Yes, 1000%. I don't know exactly what's been going on. Firefights haven't been going their way. Yeah, okay, it's hard to catch circles sometimes, but you just can't try to catch 8 or anything else like that. You're gonna have to deal with the fact that the circles are gonna be a little bit wonky, going all over the place, and it has forced kind of the United States to chase after them. I think that's kind of been the problem with Vietnam on the other side, is it feels like they've been very much having to chase after the circle and haven't been able to go as hot and heavy on the kills as they've wanted to.
All right, here is the leaderboard. Aside from Brazil, it is very close everywhere else, but 61 for Brazil. Let's give them their flowers here, Gibson. This has been a fantastic day number 1 for the boys.
Yeah, vai Brazil, vai Corinthians, vai Vasco, you know what all the Brazilians love to say, but everything was on top, right? 22 placement points, the best in the lobby. 39 kills, the best in the lobby by a long way. They play with a level of aggression that I think really suits the PNC style of play. I think that rubbed off in Argentina too, right? You see the 2 South American teams that like to get in people's faces, finishing up on top, but see me another man of the match. Like, this kid's nuts.
Yeah, he's vying for the most man of the matches through the whole tournament, be it survival. Admittedly, some teams were playing survival, but still, it's going to count. He's got plenty of man of the matches so far here. Just again, a full update to those 3 compensation points that I just referenced for Ukraine. It turned out 2 players disconnected during match 4, and that is why they're getting those 3 compensation points. So, love to keep the viewers as updated as possible here for PNC 2026. So, not bad for Ukraine. The funny thing is, Mark, it's been a decent day for Ukraine. They find themselves at what, I think 39 points overall, which is kind of shy of where Brazil is, but it's not an insurmountable lead with 10 games remaining here.
No, look, obviously that game 4, they were kind of that south side, they got caught in the blue. If they did have those 2 disconnects, it's not great. Obviously the points obviously been added to them, so that puts them above Vietnam. So you're on that 39. It's a decent game. Or day 1, should we say? I think the breaks might have affected them because they are a momentum-based team. They like to keep pressure on. So maybe go for a little bit of a reset for this team and coming back, obviously, tomorrow.
So that's an
What a day for South America, especially Brazil. You guys, it was a long day, but you were an absolute king on the server, a beast. I mean, tell me, how was your day ending it as number 1 on the leaderboard?
Ending